cover Donald Trump. You're here for Donald Trump.
I'm here for Trump. He's back, folks.
For CNN's town hall with former President Donald Trump.
Fuck yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
I'm ready.
Are you, though?
This is going to take 7 hours.
Are you ready mentally?
I thought we were watching highlights. We're watching the whole thing?
Why do you have an issue with that?
No, I have no issue with the
It's
fact
Donald
that...
Trump. Every moment is a highlight.
I'm ready. I haven't
He's
watched
so
it yet.
back. He's so fucking back.
I'm so ready. We
Donald
haven't even
Trump is-
started and we're paused.
Donald Trump is...
Like, no information
Yeah, because...
has come on the screen and we're already paused.
Because let me cook, okay? This is how I do my videos, okay?
I
Because
know.
I'm like thinking about this as though it's going to inevitably turn into a fucking...
How is that even possible? We're at 0 seconds and we're already paused.
It's because... Wait, how do
Like, and you're already off. You're already stun locked.
No, I gotta...
I've heard them speak and we couldn't even get through a full second before it was paused.
You're dropping shit.
Is my phone.
Wait, why can't I...
You are locked and stunned.
I'm trying to do something on the side here. Why can't I...
He's trying to run a commercial ad break.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to do that. Oh, here it... Wait, no, it's not here. Where the fuck... Dude, I hate it when I can't, like, switch the channels on the right. I'm on a new browser, on a new computer, so I can't switch the fucking channels that I have on the left side of the screen to, like, to be not recommended. Like, my follow channels, I want it to be by view count, not by, like, random fucking recommended channels.
So he can know who his real friends are.
No, I just want to... No, it's like, I'm so OCD. It really fucking annoys me. I literally cannot do it right now. Fuck. It pisses me off so much. How do you do it? Why isn't it happening?
There it is. There it is. It's in order.
Oh, that's... I had to make it larger. Sort options. There it is. Fucking hate that. No, I don't want the recommended for you, man. It just shows like random fucking channels. And it triggers the shit. Dude, it triggers the shit out of my, like... I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like... It's not OCD or anything. But I literally cannot stand it. Like, I want to be able to scroll and see, like, all the channels that I follow.
All right.
I hate it.
All right. I am ready to watch the greatest president in American history.
Dude.
Like,
the best
even
president.
better than the only president maybe not as good, that he's not as good as, is Abraham Lincoln.
Fuck!
The great Abraham Lincoln.
It fucking happened again, dude. This shit is so janky, brother.
Every time I come up with a conservative talking point, the camera fucking dies. Oh, there. Oh, you had it for a second. There it is. You need some tape or something?
I just need to, like, never touch it. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Okay.
Dude, we should go ghost hunting. You and me.
I'm down. I would
You
shit
and me.
my
Dude,
pants.
I'm so scared of shit like that. We need to go ghost hunting. That'd be amazing.
I'm down. All right, let's get started. What I was going to say is this is very controversial because CNN done did it again. They did it for us.
Yeah.
They want Donald Trump to be president, okay? And, you know, it's content.
Liberals
For CNN's town.
What?
Liberals can never... I'm learning about... Because I am a liberal. I am learning that liberals can never win in these situations. Every time CNN's like, we're going to get him. We're going to bring him on CNN.
No,
We're going to get him.
I think they know. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
I think they know what they're doing. I think
All right.
CNN's like, no, Trump is content. We want the ratings. We want him to be president again.
Town hall with former President Donald Trump. I'm Caitlin Collins. Tonight, President Trump is here as he embarks on a campaign unlike any other in the history of U.S. presidential elections. He's the first former president in more than a century to seek a return to the White House, and he is currently leading the Republican field while also facing multiple criminal investigations and an indictment. Just yesterday, he was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. No questions are off the table, and we agreed to no conditions.
I know. It's because I don't have a noise gate.
She's ready.
It's because I don't have a noise gate, okay? There's nothing I can do.
Marsh looks like he's...
So please stop
dead.
reading the fucking annoying comments, okay? The sound is all fucky, echoey, double audio. I know. It's because I don't have a fucking noise gate. I have a USB mic, okay? Shut the fuck up. You're going to hear a little bit of it.
We're here to get voters the answers that they deserve. Our audience is made up of Republicans and undeclared voters who plan to take part in New Hampshire's Republican primary. They'll get the chance to question the former president directly. These voters and the issues that they care about the most will help decide if former President Trump will get a second chance to take on President Joe Biden. Please welcome the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, former President Donald Trump. President Trump, thank you for your time here tonight. We got a great crowd here in New Hampshire, a lot of voters with a lot of questions about what your 2024 term would look like.
It's wild that they threw her to the fucking wolves like this, by the way. This is like, she's so green. Like, she's like our age. She's not like, she's like super young. She hasn't been at CNN for like super long, you know what I mean? And they literally made her do the Donald Trump New Hampshire town hall, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me. Anyway,
okay. This is set. The game's loaded.
Fucking hell.
If you try to play the game right now, it says checking internet connection to see if you're allowed to play software yet. So I think literally at midnight local time it'll unlock.
So if we had a New Zealand Nintendo account, we would be able to play it right now.
I think it's via internet. So I think you have to be physically there or have a VPN somehow to switch.
She's a nasty woman, folks.
We should have flown to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Very nasty.
We'd probably be having more fun, honestly. But
yeah.
Anyway.
I'm
very
sure.
nasty, folks.
I'm gonna nap, but my phone will be. You can call me.
Nasty, nasty woman.
Okay. What do you mean good night, bro? You are not going to bed.
I'm gonna nap.
Okay.
March, the coffee's gonna be here.
Call me something break.
Hey,
All
the
right.
coffee's gonna be here.
Oh, it is here.
No, come in. Please.
Sorry, thank you.
What another Trump term would look like. We'll get to the voters shortly, but your polls show that you are dominating the Republican race right now, but you are also under active federal investigation for trying to overturn the 20.
Yeah, I got you a venti. Why are you complaining?
I wanted a grande.
Can you give me my cold brew, please? Oh my God! You just literally grabbed your coffee, started complaining because it was too big, and forgot to give me my coffee.
Some people don't want it big. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem. That's what.
Thank you very
Yeah, that's what you were supposed to say in this regard, in this situation. Wait, so the person Caitlin Collins used to work for the Daily Wire?
Oh, fuck. Ugh.
What? Take your shit off too. Take your sticker off as well. Wait, I didn't know this lady worked for the Daily Wire. What the fuck? Shocked that someone who got her start rating the hotness of Syrian refugees for Tucker Carlson. Oh my God, not even the Daily Wire, the Daily Caller. Chat, the Daily Caller is worse than the Daily Wire. Which is weird to explain because you're like, what? Something is worse than the Daily Wire? Yeah. The Daily Caller is even more racist than the Daily Wire. The Daily Caller is Tucker Carlson's outlet. Which means Caitlin Collins, the lady that you're seeing on fucking screen, started writing for an outlet that famously had to delete all of their articles about running over protesters when Unite the Right happened.
Do they have a straw or something?
Dog, CNN will hire literal dirt. Well, I mean, CNN hired her because she's who she is. No, I don't think there's a straw, but people are saying, Austin, mix your coffee, buddy. The good stuff is in the bottom. Okay, don't spill it everywhere, though.
I'm trying to mix it. All right, I'm ready.
Caitlyn criticized Obama's daughter wearing skirts. Wait, what the fuck? This is Caitlyn Collins, who some people are defending for some reason. She got her start working for Tucker Carlson's Daily Caller, writing an article such as, "The internet wonders, are the Obama girls' skirts too short?"
I mean, it was 2015.
Bro, this chick is a fucking media demon. No wonder she got it at such an early age. This happens every 5 years. Fox News moves slightly left to avoid criticism, and CNN moves right to make up for it. Yeah, in 2015, the Obama daughters were like 16, by the way. So, or how, I don't know how old, but. Caitlyn Collins bylines deleted on stories she did for the Tucker Carlson site. The right-wing website co-found. Okay, oh my god. Oh my god. We didn't even fucking get into it. Dude, this is crazy. The Biden War Room is coming after her now. Oh my god, she's getting canceled. Oh my god. She's getting so canceled. It's awesome. That's fire. This is the Biden War Room that's coming after her because the one that conducted the town hall did such a fucking god-awful job that now everyone is reading her to filth all over the internet. Which, by the way, like, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense that CNN would hire her. I think people should get more mad at CNN for, one, hiring her, two, propping her up for this position, and which is by design not supposed to be like that antagonistic towards Donald Trump, and three, for having a town hall for Donald Trump to begin with. So, like, yeah, no shit. I mean, she sucks, but also, it is by design for her to suck. That's the reason why she, at a very young age, like she's like my age, and she's a fucking CNN anchor now. No shit. I mean, before we get to this, let's watch a little bit of this, I think.
About what your 2024 term would look like, what another Trump term would look like. We'll get to the voters
we're gonna add jobs
shortly, but your poll showed that you were dominating the Republican race right now, but you were also under active federal investigation for trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Your first term ended with a deadly riot at the Capitol, and you still have not publicly acknowledged the 2020 election results. Why should Americans put you back in the White House?
Because we did fantastically. We got 12 million more votes than we had in, as you know, in 2016. I actually say we did far better in that election. Got the most that anybody's ever gotten as a sitting president of the United States. I think that when you look at that result and when you look at what happened during that election, unless you're a very stupid person, you see what happens. A lot of the people.
Dude, they
lost.
stacked the fucking room with his supporters, dude. They're laughing at him. Oh my god, this is so good. At this point, you know already that I take a very nihilistic approach to this sort of thing because I don't expect anything good from the media. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've given up on the media being like actually contentious. Oh my god, dude.
People in this audience, and maybe a couple that don't, but most people understand what happened. That was a rigged election, and it's a shame that we had to go through it. It's very bad for our country. All over the world, they looked at it, and they saw exactly what everyone else saw. You look, even if you just look recently with the 51 intelligence agents, that made a 16-point difference. If you look at the FBI, if you look at the FBI and Twitter, they call it Twitter files, made a big difference. If you look at
Mr. President, back to what you just said there, though, it was not a rigged election. It was not a stolen election. You and your supporters lost more than 60 court cases on the election. It's been nearly 2.5 years. Can you publicly acknowledge that you did lose the 2020 election?
Let me just go on. If you look at True the Vote, they found millions of votes on camera, on government cameras, where they were stuffing ballot boxes. So with all of that, I think it's a shame that what happened. I think it's a very sad thing for our country. I think it's a very sad thing, frankly, for the world, because if you look at what's gone to our country has gone to hell. Our borders are bad. Our military has been bad. You look at the taxes.
It's crazy that they also basically fucking like solidified Donald Trump as like the main guy by hosting this.
I mean,
'Cause,
he
like,
is.
Like, if CNN is supposed to be the Democratic Party's like media operatives,
I'm telling you, DeSantis
they
lost.
they should be fucking hammering like some kind of division within the Republican Party's primaries.
DeSantis lost when he went after Disney.
Well, DeSantis lost when he went after Trump,
No, I mean he lost when he went after Disney.
but that
Okay.
too for sure. No, I think DeSantis.
Right?
You're right, actually.
His entire base is on scooters right now at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, DeSantis going after Disney was definitely not a smart move. He thought that he could like culture war his way, and he fucked up. You can't culture war that hard. He culture war too hard.
You can't fucking loot. Like, that's the most bipartisan place on the planet is Walt Disney World, right?
Yeah.
Liberals, leftists, except, well, actually not leftists. Liberals and Republicans love Walt Disney World. It's
true.
Okay? Leftists don't like anything, all right? But they liberals and Republicans love Walt Disney World, okay? Alike, okay?
Yeah, they're both right.
Leftists don't like Disney World because it's fun and everybody loves it, okay? That's why they don't like Walt Disney World.
It's true. Leftists do hate fun.
Is you look at inflation, what's happened to inflation, it's just destroying our country. We've really become, in many ways, a third world country. And it's very sad what's happened in this administration. And it's something that will turn around on day one. We were energy independent. Now energy is at a level that we've never had to pay before. Nobody can afford to continue to pay what's happening with energy. But we were energy independent. We were getting out of Afghanistan with strength and with dignity. And instead we got out, we looked like fools, probably the most
And Mr.
embarrassing
President,
moment in the history of our country.
We have a
Socialism
lot
is
of
when
questions
no
about the
fun for the
economy and
5
foreign
gifted
policy
subs.
tonight, but what you just said there, Republican officials debunked those claims about fraudulent ballots. We want to give you a chance tonight.
Who?
Republican officials in Georgia and every single state. There is no your own election officials, Mr. President. So we wanted to give you a chance.
People were afraid to take on the issue, but we have a big problem in this country. We have
We wanted to give you a chance to
we have
acknowledge the
elections
results.
that were horrible. If you look at what happened in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, if you look at what happened in Detroit, Michigan, if you look at what happened in Atlanta,
I'll be honest,
millions of votes, and all you have to do is
No, he always is like that.
I know, but his bad posture.
Whenever Trump is under attack or he feels uncomfortable, he always slouches like that.
Yeah, it's
Especially if he's sitting down.
Yeah.
He's always that's all. Have you seen the video? I think did I show you the video of him at the church? It's one of my favorite new Trump videos. Where he's at the fucking church and he's like playing with his $20 bills as he's about to go tithing. He always does that. He's just like sits like this.
take a look at government cameras. You'll see them. People going to 28 different voting booths to vote, to put in 7 ballots apiece.
But Mr.
and
President,
they're
I
all
think
on
this
camera.
doesn't
stop you there
help him in
because-
the election.
because there
I'm
is no
sorry, it
evidence of
doesn't.
that. Your own
Peddling voter fraud
Him
does not
talking
help
about
that.
him talking about the
That doesn't
election was
help at all.
stolen doesn't help him.
That doesn't help him at all.
It doesn't help him in his rallies. In this regard, though, he is gonna come across as like doing a good job defending himself against the unjustifiable attacks from the lying liberal media.
Yeah, maybe to his base, but to the average person, he
Yeah.
sounds like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah,
And I'm talking the independent
you know what
American
it is?
voter, he
It's
sounds
not
like a
that he
fucking
sounds like a
lunatic.
lunatic.
Yeah.
He sounds like a loser.
Yeah,
He sounds like a sore loser.
A sore loser.
Everyone recognizes that, like, if you constantly talk about how hard you lost to Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
you automatically are making yourself look worse for no fucking reason. He just looks. It's been 2 years, dog. You're still talking about it. You're a fucking sore loser. You know, or 3 years. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck's going on? Time is passing way too fast.
Election officials
10
testified
years.
to that and have said that Republicans in these states did this. In Georgia, there were multiple recounts, including a hand recount. We have questions about the claims that you're making tonight from voters on this topic. I want to bring in Scott Dustin from Concord. He works in insurance litigation.
What the
He's an
fuck?
undeclared voter. That's what they call independents here
Okay.
in New Hampshire, as you know. He did vote for you in 2020. Scott, what's your
I'm curious if he's undeclared. Thank you, Mr.
No,
Jonathan.
they're New Hampshire. That's why.
Oh,
New
yeah.
Hampshire and Iowa are like this. They love behaving like people give a shit about them.
It's like my dad's an independent voter and he's voted Democrat for the last 40 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's like you. It's like you claiming that you're an
No, I
independent voter.
re-registered to the Democratic Party.
You're such a pussy. You couldn't even hold out.
No, I couldn't hold out. I re-registered.
Yeah, he does.
I switched to the Independent Party I lost faith, and then I re-registered.
Yeah, New Hampshire is like very libertarian. They want to be like Florida, but they're in the north, so they can't be too Florida. But it's one of those places. New Hampshire is so important. We're the first state to cast our vote, care about us. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's literally it's straight up. That's the whole point. That's why they don't even call them independent. They call them undeclared. We have a different name for it. Okay, got it, dude. It's fucking Iowa and New Hampshire are like the biggest dickheads. No one cares. Shut the fuck up.
What's your question for the president?
Hi, President
Scott.
Trump. Welcome back to New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud during your run for president?
Will I suspend?
He has a phenomenal hairline, though. Like, it's kind of wild that his hairline is so good. Everything else is busted, but the hairline...
Yeah, it's pretty...
The hairline is too intact. It's like fucking crazy.
Yeah, everything else, yeah. But he can fix everything else, you know what I mean?
I've never seen...
I'm telling you, if I'm this guy, I gotta... Because, like, look, we can't fix our fucking hairlines. Look, mine's going south. It's...
Yeah, me too,
like,
brother.
I mean, look,
Look at that.
I'm doing the best I can. All right?
Look
I'm
at
pushing
that.
as far forward as possible.
Look at that.
Look, I don't even want to pull mine back. It's trouble. No,
Do
I'm
it,
not doing
pussy.
it.
Do it.
No, I'm not doing
Do it.
No, get your
Do it.
hair. No, it's all an illusion.
No.
I've been fighting it with PRP and supplements, and it's been working. Actually, it's been getting thicker.
I've been... Dude.
Slowly but surely.
Dude, you are so ridiculous today.
What?
We're filming vlog content, and he's like, Mauricio, turn the camera around. Flip it around. I gotta see
Make sure
myself.
check my hair.
He's like... I'm like, Austin, this isn't like a still. This
I'll be
isn't
honest,
a still, dog. This
I'm
is
being
like a
very
whole
candid.
ass vlog.
My fucking hair went through a very rough time last summer, and I saw videos. Everybody noticed. And,
Really? What do you mean?
It was just not doing good. So I changed a lot of things. I went and
Everybody
started getting
noticed. Like no
injections.
one noticed.
I went and got injections. You know, you guys just don't notice, right? It's kind of like.
What do you mean? These are the guys who would notice if they did.
They didn't. Nobody noticed. Everybody noticed.
No one noticed, Austin.
Everybody noticed. If you look back at
You
the
saw
reviews,
one hater who was like, "Oh, dude, you
look at the YouTube comments on the next show. What do you call it? Fucking. I'm gonna look for this comment on the next podcast that I'm on. Austin's hair went through a really rough period last summer, but after all of his interventions, it's clearly.
Why would anybody know what kind of interventions you've been through?
Because I talk about them open and candidly.
You're so brave, dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man. Thank you for your candid way of talking
hold on.
about.
Guy on the left, what?
What?
Scroll up.
I can't.
Okay.
What? What? Do you see it?
No.
Guy on the left drank from the fountain of incest.
Is that me?
Yeah. Well, you are. Oh no, he's talking about this guy.
Oh. I was like, I'm on the left too, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you were about to get him banned.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
But it is factually accurate to say it about this guy.
What, that I'm incestual?
Excuse me,
No,
what?
this.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud
No, I think he's-
during your
I
run
think he's a
for
liberal.
president?
Yeah, unless I see election fraud. If I see election fraud, I think I have an obligation to say it. And you know what we went through a short while ago has
I
really
would-
put
I
our
would
country
talk
in a
back to
big
him.
problem.
What are you gonna do, get
I hope
kicked out of a
to
fucking
do that.
town hall?
I hope we're going to have very honest elections.
Oh,
We should have voter ID. We should have one-day elections. We should have paper ballots instead of these mail-in votes. But the answer is yes, and I hope that it's going to be very straight up, because if it's going to be straight up, we're going to win the election.
So you will suspend talk to his question about the 2020 election on the campaign
Well,
trail?
I guess we're going to just win. We're at a point now. We're getting so close. Let's just win it again and straighten out our country.
One other question on this.
Oh my God.
Look how happy they are, dude.
Oh my God.
Dude, CNN. literally was just like, can we just, Mr. Trump, please take your cock out. We will suck it. Take your cock out.
Oh, look at that.
We're gonna fucking double hand it, dude. We're gonna put one finger in the butthole while we're fucking massaging your ball sack. You know? Oh my lord, dude. Oh my lord. What a fucking dude. This is incredible. This is incredible. I love being an undecided New Hampshire voter in the room and going, fuck yeah, dude, my president. Yeah, yeah. To be fair, if I was in that room, I would react the same way.
I know. You would totally
I would be going crazy. I was like, yeah!
You would have your MAGA hat on.
Yeah, I'd have my MAGA hat on. I'd be fucking flipping off who I think is a liberal.
The thing is, if you were at a Trump rally, you would be like excited to meet him and getting a picture with him and shaking his hand and taking a selfie.
Oh yeah,
you would be so into it.
Yeah, 100%. I, dude, yeah.
And you know what? You know what? I respect it because why waste the fucking energy arguing and saying what everybody's always said? It's like obvious.
Well, it's not only that, but
it's
also,
obvious.
What am I supposed to do when CNN's doing this? You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I own the Trump supporters. Or I, from my Twitch stream, really owned Donald Trump with logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
Like, surely he won't become president when, like, the multi-billion-dollar institution is literally glazing him. Offered him a platform, glazed him up like a fucking Krispy Kreme donut. Like, they're doing the most. Okay? So why not enjoy the ride? You know what I mean? So anyone that goes, oh man, this is really fucked up, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, it's CNN. They did this, and it's not because they're stupid. It's because they want Donald Trump to be the next president, okay?
Because the ratings went through the roof.
I'm not kidding, dude. They come on. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Like, what is this? This is crazy. Like, how do you look at this? How do your liberal parents look at the situation and not recognize the writing on the wall that, like, mainstream media wants the ratings?
I guarantee you, if I call my mom, she will say that he got destroyed in this town hall.
No, I think your mom will probably be upset at CNN too.
No.
I'm pretty sure liberals are
No.
actually universally upset at CNN right now.
My dad, who's an independent voter, was talking to me about how Biden's done a great job.
It don't matter. He said
This is
the first time Donald Trump is back to his 2016 ways, dude, and he's fucking on point. He's on fire. He's in a room full of people that are giving him applause breaks.
My dad's
laughter.
in his late 60s, okay? I mean, give him a break. All right, he's a liberal through and through.
See, like what is your mom
and
think
so
about
was
that?
my grandfather. My grandfather had a countdown clock till George W. Bush was out of office. We got him for Christmas one year. He used to write letters to the what do you call it? To the, like, he hated Nixon. He used to write letters to Nixon.
That's awesome.
Because he hated he didn't like the treatment of the Palestinian people. This is like back in the 70s or something. I'm Lebanese. I mean, what I mean,
Stacking crowds with support.
he was Lebanese. He's Lebanese. So.
Look, my mom was mad at 60 Minutes for the MTG thing. She won't like this. Like, liberals were upset at 60 Minutes. Liberals are like picking up copies of Manufacturing Consent, dude. They're out here. They're fucking mad at libtard media not doing the job that it's supposed to do.
When you've talked about the 2020 election results in the past, you once suggested terminating the Constitution. Do you stand by those comments?
No. You were able to do certain things. I'm not talking about terminating the Constitution. I'm talking about cherishing the Constitution. The Constitution says that we're supposed to have legal and well-maintained and well-looked-at elections, and we didn't have that. I cherish our Constitution, but we have to live up to the Constitution. We weren't living up to the Constitution.
I mean, he's technically not wrong. Okay, here's why. Because our founding fathers did own a lot of slaves, okay? And they kind of didn't want everybody to vote.
Oh, that's true. They did.
So technically, he's not wrong. Like, according to their vision of America, like, Donald Trump, despite the fact that he's German and therefore swarthy, is still... like, his understanding of like what elections should look like, i.e., benefit the side that wants to maintain the racial imbalance that existed even back in those days is closer to the Founding Fathers' understanding of how the government should run.
But
I mean, look at the Senate. Look no further than the Senate to recognize that there is a genuine imbalance built into the entire thing.
let me tell you about the Constitution.
Tell us about the Constitution. What do you say? It. Say the line. This is an old school Austin trope.
Look, our founding fathers were ahead of their time, and they created a document that wasn't stuck in that time period.
No, what did you used to say? Did
It
you
was
forget?
living. It's a living, breathing document.
Yes, he said
to
it.
be interpreted in the context of time.
Oh, he said it. Oh,
It was
God.
ratified-
He's spitting. He's spitting.
In 1787,
He's spitting.
all right? And our forefathers understood that maybe 200 years later, we would have different problems that had to be dealt with differently than things were in 1787.
God, you are such a liberal.
And therefore, we have the ability to amend this Constitution.
damn, dude, damn straight.
Similarly, what we've done through time, right?
Hell yeah.
Why it doesn't make any sense that we interpret the right to bear arms, any sort of process to
Okay,
regulate the gun industry.
You're moving away to sing the other issues now.
Well, I'm setting up my platform because I'm running for president.
Okay.
Other issues like gun ownership are regulated. Anytime they're regulated, they say it infringes upon the rights of Americans, which is just blatantly untrue. I mean, you know what? We'll get into that. I'm gonna have a town hall at CNN, and we'll get into that. But for now, I don't want to really burden anybody with what I'm talking about. Trump's time now.
Just say there's no evidence of that election fraud. You did once
You're
tweet.
supposed to say that, but I'm
gotta
glad
pee.
you say that. But look,
That's
that was
the
a
truth, Mr.
horrible
President.
election. That was a horrible election, and unless somebody's very stupid, and I know you very well, you're not stupid at all, but you perhaps are given an agenda or you have an agenda. Look, we have to have honest elections in our country. We have open borders. We have.
Oh yeah, undecided
You
voters.
look at what's happening. I mean, we have elections, we have open borders. Look at what's happening on our southern border. Millions and millions of people are coming here. They're being released from prisons. They're being released from mental institutions. And we have millions of people pouring into our country.
What?
And now they're getting rid of Title 42, which I put on, which kept people out that were sick. And
And Mr.
had
President, we have a
problems.
lot of questions about immigration to get to tonight. Obviously, that's a big topic, especially given what's expected to happen tomorrow. But I want to talk about the influence you have over your voters. It's very clear that you are very influential over them. You have a lot of impact. I've been to many of your rallies and seen it up close, which raised a lot of questions about the influence that we saw that you had on them on January 6th and your supporters when they attacked the Capitol. Do you have any regrets about your actions on January 6th?
Nope.
Well, you know, January 6th was, again, we go back to it, but January 6th had to do with the fact that hundreds of thousands of people, and you don't see the pictures very often. A lot of the people here probably were there.
He can't help himself but be proud of the crowd that was there. How big the crowd was.
January 6th, it was the largest crowd I've ever
He can't help
spoken
it.
to. That was prior to the walk down to
He can't help
the
it. He
Capitol
can't help
building.
himself.
I don't think, and I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people. I've never spoken to a crowd as large as this.
He can't help
And that
it.
was because they thought the election was rigged. And they were there proud. They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable, and it was a beautiful day.
Oh my
And
God!
what I was asked to do, I wasn't involved in it very
Oh my
much.
God!
I was asked to come in. Would I make a speech? I made a speech. I said, walk peacefully and patriotically, you know, many different things. In fact, I brought a list of things. I don't want to bore the audience, but we can go sentence after sentence
Dude.
after sentence.
We're gonna get kicked out.
Sorry. He called January 6th
I
a
know,
beautiful
I'm
day.
listening. I can hear it.
All right.
I can hear
Things
you
I said
fucking
and things I
yelling
put
like
out.
a hyena too.
One of the big problems was that Nancy Pelosi, Crazy Nancy as I affectionately call her, Crazy Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington were in charge, as you know, of security. And they
They're
did
not in
not
charge
do
of
their
the
job.
National Guard. You're in charge of the
They
National
are in
Guard.
well, I offered them National Guard. I said, we'll give you soldiers, we'll give you National Guard, we'll give you whatever you want.
This is my favorite Trump argument, I think, or one of my favorite. There's so many good ones, because it implies that Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the unrest.
Yeah.
That what also he simultaneously considers to be very peaceful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand it. Like, on the one hand, you started out by saying it was the largest crowd of peaceful Americans who love the United States of America. And then you immediately switch it around and say, and Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the unrest because she didn't want the National Guard. She didn't want the National Guard to be there. To do what? To stop the unrest? Is that what you're saying?
And also, he was the fucking president of the United States
Yeah, I know.
at the time.
Which, yeah,
Right? Didn't
yeah.
he have the authority to call in override the Speaker of the House?
I don't know the exact intricacies of it, but it doesn't matter because
He was the president.
I'm more focused on the fact that, like, yeah, as someone said, it's like the Schrodinger's riot, where it wasn't a riot, but it was also a riot. But if it was a riot, it was because of Nancy Pelosi. Like, it doesn't make sense. He said Pelosi created a beautiful day. It's a compliment. True. It was a beautiful day, January 6th. Thankfully, Nancy Pelosi didn't want the National Guard there because it was a beautiful day and it was not a riot. Austin with 12 hours of sleep is a different level of funny. I really think you could take Hasanabi's job, Austin. I mean, fucking,
There's
can
no
try.
fucking way.
He can try, dude.
There's no fucking way.
Nobody wants this job. I don't think people realize that. Like,
No fucking way. I can take it for like maybe 2 hours at a time.
you need to be severely mentally ill to do this all day, every
Yeah, I'm gonna
day.
pass hard.
Yeah, people.
I will run for president though.
Which is kind of like this then. So
I'll run for president. As the first capitalist socialist.
How does that work?
Well, I'm a socialist. Depends on who I'm talking to, right? So if you're a leftist, I'm socialist. If you're a capitalist, I'm a capitalist. It's like I'm kind of like a chameleon. You know what I mean? It
Very
just depends
cool.
on who I'm speaking to.
And they turned me down.
You're
and in
acting
fact, she
defense
turned me down.
secretary.
She turned me down in writing. They turned me down.
But your acting defense secretary, Chris Miller, at the time, he says you never gave a formal order to deploy the National Guard. But when it came
Excuse
to
me,
that day,
just the opposite.
Excuse me.
Chris Miller wrote a book, and he's a fantastic guy, and he was ready to go. They turned him down. If you look, the mayor of Washington, D.C., lovely lady, she said, we don't want it. We don't like the look. Nancy Pelosi said, oh, we don't like the look. If they would have had I offered them 10,000 soldiers. I said, it could be 10, it could be more, but I offered them specifically 10,000 soldiers. If they would have taken 500 soldiers, you wouldn't have had the problem. They turned it down. And if you look at the Inspector General report, he says they turned it down. They made a terrible mistake.
well, Chris Miller was your acting defense secretary. He says you never gave that order. But back to what happened on that day.
He
You said
did
you
not
weren't.
say that.
He has testified that, Mr.
He did
President.
not say that.
But you said you weren't very.
He did say that though.
that's so funny. No, don't believe you. Testify. He didn't testify. He testified. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He told me. He called me up after. He said, Mr. President, I'm so sorry. I had to lie to them. I had to tell them at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break, Mr. President. Which, by the way, is the case. At the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break if you no longer want to see those ads. All you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one beautiful, free Prime subscription a month. Believe me, folks. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully it's me. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Oh my god, breaking news. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Elon Musk is stepping down from Twitter. What the fuck is happening, dude? What is happening? 3-minute ad break now is coming, by the way.
He's stepping down as the CEO of Twitter.
Yeah. Smoking on that Elon pack.
So now, like, he can't.
I mean, he'll still oversee it. He's definitely an awful micromanager. You know what I mean? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I don't know. I mean, he edited it. Maybe he'll edit it again. Anyway, here's a 3-minute ad break now.
overseeing product, software, and size.
We'll cover that in a second. Wait, what?
Why would you
I made
show that?
Austin English. It made you British, bro. What you mean? You look like you'd be in The Only Way is Essex.
You
Like a fucking UK
you added like 100 pounds to my lower face.
No, he just gave you a fucking fat jaw, dude.
Oh.
It's hot. You look hot.
Yeah. You think I could pick up birds looking like that?
Yeah, look at this fucking ping bird. Look at this
I can
fucking
pick up-
ping bird.
I can
Yeah.
pick up birds.
You looking fucking sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a fucking meat shanking.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Is the new CEO the redheaded libertarian? Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Elon Musk is so fucking horny. He made the redheaded libertarian the CEO. Okay, let's get back to Donald Trump. We'll cover that in a little bit.
Very involved that day. You did tell your supporters to come to Washington. You tweeted about it, about
Sure,
that
of
speech
course.
that happened on the rally.
Am I allowed
when
to say that?
When they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers, why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out. So if you look at
CNN, by the way.
Oh god.
Dude, I love this dude. Dude, listen. I don't want to hear from anybody, okay? I don't want to hear from anybody ever again. Anytime anyone comes in here and says, Hasan, like, you're the reason why America is such and such, okay? No, motherfucker. That's CNN, dog. That's their shit, okay?
What if the only reason he agreed to do the town hall is if he could put his supporters in the audience?
I mean, you don't have to do the town hall then. You can just do, nah, we're not going to cover this town hall. We're not going to give you a town hall.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. No, they did it because they're hungry. They're horny for ratings, and they, more importantly than that, want Donald Trump to be president. There's no doubt in my mind. There's zero doubt in my mind that CNN abso-fucking-lutely knows what Donald Trump is, knows what kind of a fucking media demon he is, and they absolutely want Donald Trump to be president. They want it. They want it to happen. 1,000,000%.
Dude, I can't believe there's a fucking election next year.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ.
It's starting. The primaries are like upon us. You know what I mean?
Dude, the primaries are upon us. Wow, not only is CNN's ratings about to go through the roof, hasanabi's ratings are about to go through the ceiling.
Yeah, this is when everyone acts like they give a shit about politics. Well, it's an incumbent, so it's a little different.
I'm ready for the fucking debates. Are you kidding me? Remember? Am I gonna be on your debate covering squad again? Or
No.
have I been eliminated?
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I hired a new gay,
Oh, really?
George Santos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He's our new gay instead.
Okay. I see. Whatever.
I like that you're like kind of bitter. Like
Yeah.
it's very clearly a joke, but you still are
I mean, Hasan.
a little upset.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll be fine.
Okay.
at, on January 5th, the day before, I said, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. Stay peaceful. This was the day before, and this was in the form of Twitter. Now use Truth, Truth Social. I think it's false.
In the form of this was in the form of Twitter.
Okay. I hope everybody's on. I hope everybody's on Truth. If you look, okay. And this
what is
was
it?
in the form of Twitter. Now use Truth, Truth Social. I think it's far superior. Okay. I hope everybody's on. I hope everybody's on Truth. If you look, January 6th, this is before 2:30. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. This is right after, as it was happening. But what happened is they took it down. I don't know why. I think they took it down because it was so good. They didn't like it being up there. I'm asking, and we didn't know.
He's so good. Oh, he's so good. He's so fucking good. Oh my God. Oh, dude, he's so back. This is Trump at his best. This is peak Trump, okay? Undefeated. It's just like, it doesn't get any better. He's out here. He's fucking quick on his feet. He's making jokes. He's shitting on the libs. He's owning them super hard. I mean, you could not have done a better job if you tried. Fox News couldn't prop up Donald Trump this way. Because Fox News doesn't have liberals, okay? Because a principle of being a reactionary is reacting, right? You have to react to progress. Someone who is like supposedly a vector for progressive values. CNN putting up their Tucker Carlson writer, Caitlin Collins, to play that role so perfectly is incredible. Fox News having Donald Trump on to do his tight five, they do it every night. He goes on Sean Hannity sucks him off. He goes on Mark Levin sucks him off. He's getting his dick sucked by Fox News anchors all the time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not that good. That doesn't get the job done. Okay? What gets the job done is when he's against a libtard that he is owning. Okay? This is literally better than what Fox News could ever put together. And CNN is playing the role
times where
perfectly.
your commentary is no different than like a conservative pundit's commentary.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know. You just called her a libtard.
I mean, she's a libtard. But she's not. She's not even a libtard. She's like actually a conservative. Which, I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that she was. I didn't know she wrote for the Daily Caller.
Right.
Like, that actually shocked me. I did not know that.
Until I got it back, because now I have 90 million people waiting for me to go back, but I'm on truth and I'm staying on truth. Listen, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violation. We want no violation. We want no violence.
To be fair, everyone's a
Remember,
libtard.
we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. That was at 2:30. That was very early.
Mr. President, I looked at the same timeline that you did.
No,
Once
I know,
it was
but you
clear,
didn't report that. You know why? Because it was
we did
taken
report
down.
it. I was reporting that
It was
day.
taken down and it wasn't
But
put
when it
back
was
up.
clear to you that they were not being peaceful, you saw them rushing the Capitol, breaking windows. They were hitting officers with flagpoles, tasing them, beating them up. When it was clear they weren't being peaceful, why did you wait 3 hours to tell them to leave the Capitol? They listen to you like no one else. You know that.
They do. I agree with that. But
So why
Nancy
didn't you tell them to go
Pelosi,
sooner?
Nancy Pelosi and the mayor are in charge. I assume they were able to do their job. They weren't.
But
And it
Pelosi's
kicked
not in
in.
charge of
And
Capitol
if you remember,
security.
I made a video right outside the Oval Office in the Rose Garden. And I'm very proud of that video. I didn't have a script. I don't need scripts like a certain person that's in
But
there
what
right
time,
now.
the video, it came out much later after they had already attacked the Capitol.
It was a great video. And it was a beautiful video. And it said, I mean, I don't want to read it all, but you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order.
No, I'm very
We have to respect our great people of law and order. We love the people of law and order. We can't play into the hands of these other people. We have to have peace. Please go home. I said that.
referring
You know
to
what
the
they
law and
did?
order there,
They took
Mr.
that
President.
down. And to this day, it hasn't been put up. And the reason is it's so good and so conclusive that all of this nonsense and all of the tens of millions of dollars that have been spent are just wiped away with this one. And they've never put it back up. They had another one that they did the same
But that
thing.
video that you referenced there, it wasn't posted until 4:17 p.m.
No, I'll tell
They
you.
breached
Here,
the
I think
Capitol
we
at
can
2
pull your
p.m.
That video was
Mr. President.
posted,
4:17
yeah,
p.m.
before, actually a little bit before that.
Right, so that's my
Excuse
question.
me.
Because in that 3 hours, over
Excuse me,
140
it was
officers
posted
were
after the
injured.
first one I just read, though, and that was at 2 o'clock.
But I think the reason the timeline is so critical here, because going back to your influence, in
Here's
that
another
3
one I
hours,
posted.
over 140 officers were injured that day.
And a person named Ashley Babbitt was killed.
Yes.
You know what? She was killed, and she shouldn't have been killed. And that thug that killed her, there was no reason to shoot her. At blank range, cold blank range, they shot her. And she was a good person. She was a patriot.
One
There was
person
no
who was
reason
there-
there was no reason.
patriot?
And
Yeah, she's a QAnon.
he went on television to brag about the fact that he killed her.
The officer was not bragging about the fact that he
Oh,
killed
he
her.
was
But
bragging.
one person who was at the
He was
Capitol that
bragging.
day, as you know, was your vice president, Mike Pence, who says that you endangered his life on that day.
I don't
Do you
think he was in
feel,
any danger.
Mr. President, do you feel that you owe
Call
him
him
an
a pussy.
apology?
No, because he did something wrong. He should have put the votes back to the state legislatures, and I think we would have had to do.
So, dude, that's so
mask
good.
off.
That's so good. He's like, no, he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves the death threats. He should have done it. He should have stopped the process. He should have stopped the steal.
This is signature Trump in great content, but I also don't think it bodes well for him.
No.
I don't think this is good for him. No,
dude,
I don't think
dude,
so.
he's
It's
owning-
good for his base.
I know, but
It's
he's
good for his
he's
base,
owning a
and that's it.
libtard. He's owning a libtard. That's
I
all that
don't think,
matters.
I don't think this is good for him. I really don't.
That it doesn't matter. He's not looking. He's not looking pathetic.
He looks.
He's looking strong. If anything, people are just probably gonna be like, yeah, whatever. He's just like he's petty, but he's just like pushing the same shit over and over again. But
See, I have some people agreeing with me in the chat.
okay, well, I guess I'm wrong then.
Yeah, you're absolutely wrong.
I've never disagreed.
This
with
is
my
not.
friend.
Look again to the and look. I called the last election. I'm going to call it again. This is appealing to maybe 35% of the country.
Yeah,
His base.
yeah, it's a good base to have.
Yeah, appeals to 35% of the country.
Listen, man, Joe Biden. Look, I'm not saying Donald Trump's gonna beat Joe Biden. Okay, Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden already, but that was also right at the heels of COVID,
Yeah.
and not at the heels of like sky high inflation with like real wage depression.
The economy is a big issue for Biden.
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors that are hurting Joseph Robinette
Yeah,
Biden right now.
But also, one thing I will say is by all metrics, the Democrats should have been absolutely slaughtered in the midterm elections. But
It's true.
But for some reason, an act of God, all the preconceived notions of
It's not
what
a-
should happen based on statistics and what we understand should happen based on what's happening with the economy seem to be the things seem to be different now.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it was an act of God,
What do you think it was?
brother. I think it was
It was a rejection of MAGA Republicans.
them constantly talking about like one, the election being stolen
Yeah.
and going crazy mode over it.
Yeah.
And two, like they're like satanic, pedophile hunters
Roe.
who are constantly talking about. Who are constantly
Roe
talking
v.
about
Wade.
children's genitals and Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade being the biggest one, of course.
Yep.
Ironic because Donald Trump, if it was up to him, he would have tried to stop Roe v. Wade from getting eviscerated in the Supreme Court. Like, he's fine putting the Supreme Court justices in that position, but if you were to ask him, Donald Trump, dead ass, straight up, do you think the Supreme Court justices should, like, destroy Roe v. Wade? Like, in a private setting, obviously, not in public. He would probably be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Of course not. Because it's always way better to dangle it in front of the evangelical base as a carrot, not to actually give them that. Because he knows how to read the room. So, the Republicans kind of fucked him up a little bit on that front. Or themselves, really. They're a victim of their own success.
Different outcome. I really do.
But he doesn't have the authority to do that, as you know.
What?
The vice president does not have the authority to
Okay,
reject
are you
those,
ready? Let's
those
have this
elections.
one out just now, because it's interesting. Let's keep it interesting, right? I like Mike Pence very much. He's a very fine man. He's a very nice man. He made a mistake. His lawyer said, you cannot move. I called him the human conveyor belt. I said, even if the votes, I talked to his lawyer, even if the votes are absolutely fraudulent, he can't say, yes, sir, he can't send back. And the Democrats played it, and the rhinos played it. And then the election was over. They told him he couldn't do it. And Mike said to me, I can't do it. The lawyers told me I can't do it. They can't do it. But the lawyers were wrong, because right after the election, they all met, the rhinos and the Democrats, and they worked out a plan to make sure that future vice presidents don't do what I said you could do.
That's not what happened. You're referring to the Electoral Count Act.
That's
I've read that. There is no authority.
No,
Legal
excuse
experts,
me.
including Republican legal experts, say that he does not have that authority, Mr. President.
Caitlin,
But I want to
why
move
did they
on.
change the law then, saying that you can't do it?
They didn't change the law. They strengthened the law because they were worried about
Oh, they
presidents
strengthened it,
exploiting.
meaning you could do it.
That's not what it means.
Thank you.
Thank
They
you.
strengthened.
Okay, you think that doesn't look strong?
Well, I'm a liberal, so
You think that doesn't look strong to independents?
no, because it's batshit crazy to think that the election was stolen. And I think the average person,
It is, but they're not even talking about that at that point. Now they're talking about something entirely unrelated, even though it's totally related. They're talking about like minutia. When you get lost in the fucking minutia,
But
when
it
you
is
get lost in the sauce,
it's batshit crazy to think that Mike Pence could have saved.
No, I agree with you.
But that's
I
what I'm
agree
saying.
with
That's
you.
why I don't
But
think
now,
this is
he's
appealing.
winning on points. Like he's winning.
I will be
he's winning-
charitable. I will tell you when I think he's winning on something.
He's winning talking points for no fucking reason. What you're supposed to do is lock him in to the main point of contention, which is like, you sound like a sore loser. Make him sound like a sore loser. Now he is unnecessarily winning talking points against his interlocutor, who is a well-spoken and at least like kind of liberal presenting presenter. You know what I mean?
Fair.
That crowd are not independents. Yeah, they are not independent, dude. They are fucking. Hasan, stop it. He already nutted. You're gonna kill him. Stop it.
Mike had the right to do it.
The room's going crazy.
Convinced him he didn't, and it was a horrible thing for our country. If you would have sent those votes back to Georgia, Pennsylvania, and other states, Wisconsin, which if you look at Wisconsin, they virtually admitted now that the election was rigged. If
They
you
have
would have
not
sent
admitted
those
that,
votes
Mr.
back to
President.
many of those states, they would not come back in the affirmative. And remember what I said, and you just said it pretty much. You admitted what I said was right. They
did
said he
not.
didn't have the right to do it, and he did have the right to do it, and that's why they changed the law, taking that right away.
I should note that your campaign paid for a recount that happened in Wisconsin. It actually had more votes for President Biden by the end of it. But I want to move on to Wayne Byer. He's a retired attorney from
By the
North
way,
Conway.
so many
love that.
illegal
You are
votes
lived
were
up.
That was
cast
a
in
good one.
Wisconsin, and if you look in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they had so many illegal votes, they didn't even know what to do with them. You're absolutely wrong.
Mr.
about
President,
that.
there weren't any fraudulent votes in Wisconsin. I do want to get to the audience, though. We have questions for you from the audience. Wayne Byer is a retired attorney from North Conway. He has previously served in Republican administrations. He volunteered for the Republican Party in the 2022 midterms. He voted for you in 2020. What's your question for the president, Wayne?
Thank you for coming, Mr. President.
Thank you, Wayne.
My
Bro,
question.
they can't find people in New Hampshire that haven't voted for Donald Trump.
Did he just say my president?
Yeah, he did.
Instead of
My president. My question.
To you is, will you pardon the January 6 rioters who were convicted of federal offenses?
I am inclined to pardon many of them. I can't say for every single one because a couple of them probably they got out of control. But, you know, when you look at Antifa, what they've done to Portland, and if you look at Antifa, look at what they've done to
So wait,
Minneapolis and
hold on.
so many
Let me get
other.
this straight. The rioters that went in, they're Antifa, but then he should also pardon them. So which one is it?
It's both. It's fucking owned, libtard.
Like it's both. Like what is it? Is it, are they Antifa plants or are they?
They're Antifa
So
and
many
they're
other
also
places.
good Americans.
Look at what they did to Seattle and BLM. Many people were killed. These people, I'm not trying to justify anything, but you have two standards of justice in this country, and what they've done, and I love that question, because what they've done to so many people is nothing. And then what they've done to these people, they've persecuted these people. And yeah, my answer is I am most likely, if I get in, I will most likely, I would say it will be a large portion of them. You know, they did and it'll be very early on. And they're living in hell right now.
So when it comes
they're
to
living in
pardons-
hell. And they're policemen, and they're firemen, and they're soldiers, and they're carpenters and electricians, and they're great people. Many of them are just great people.
Mr. President, one of the people
I
who
don't
was
think that helps
convicted
him, man.
was
I
a
really
former
don't.
policeman, but he was convicted
I
of
don't
attacking
think
a
that
police
helps
officer.
him,
I should
Hasan.
know.
I really
But when you
don't.
said you are considering pardoning a large portion of those charged with crimes on January 6th, does that include the 4 Proud Boys members who were charged and convicted of seditious conspiracy?
I don't know. I'd have to look at their case, but I will say in Washington, D.C., you cannot get a fair trial. You cannot. Just like in New York City, you can't get a fair trial.
Dude, he's talking about the January 6 rioters that he's going to pardon. You only have this disposition towards, you only have this feeling because you have a preconceived notion, which is understandable. I do too. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to pardon them. They are unjustifiably in jail. But even to an independent, if they look at like, the BLM riots, which, the media definitely fucking hammered on a similar narrative to Donald Trump, making it seem like, especially local media, made it seem like riots were out of control. They were everywhere. They were left. They were right. and local business owners were getting murdered by these scary black people, right? He's saying, without actually saying, January 6th they did something right, they should not deserve prison sentences. He's basically just saying, he's doing whataboutism. He's basically saying, like, well, the BLM Antifa thugs never got anything, which is not even true, by the way. There were plenty of people that went to jail and took lengthy prison sentences during the Black Lives Matter protest, for the record. So it's not even true. But the media perception and the perception of the people due to the media coverage of the matter is that these people did not get any kind of harm whatsoever. So he's just hyper focusing on the double standard. People love perceived hypocrisy. Oh my God, they love hypocrisy hunting. Like, he's doing a very good job of deflecting away from the main points of contention and conducting himself in a way that he did exactly like he did in 2016. In 2016, you probably watched Donald Trump and you were like, this guy's a goof. He's goofball. He's crazy. He's out of his mind. Now, he's doing the exact same shit he did in 2016. Now, of course, there are major disadvantages that Donald Trump has right now. Are you falling asleep?
No.
I just saw your eyes close.
I was blinking for a prolonged period of time.
Okay.
It's what I do when I think.
Okay, well, one major problem is that Donald Trump has been president.
Right.
So we know what that looked like. And, it wasn't great for so much so that, like, people literally didn't vote for him. They voted, they either stayed home or they voted for Joe Biden. A lot of people voted for Trump, but a lot more people voted for Joe Brandon. So he lost already. So we know what this matchup looks like. So that's a huge hurdle that needs to clear. And unless he, like, shakes it up and, like, finds something new, rehashing these old conversations and ultimately owning libtards in the marketplace of ideas might not actually take him over the finish line. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel there. So fear not. However, having said that, this certainly is improving his chances.
If anything,
for no reason.
As a voter, as an independent voter, right? I look at this and I say it doesn't, before he talked, I'm like, maybe life was, maybe I could see, maybe Trump wasn't so bad. He's now reminding me of all the reasons why he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but you're a Democrat. You're a lifelong
I'm an independent voter.
No, you're not. You're a lifelong Democrat.
I'm an independent voter.
Yeah, you're an independent like those guys are independents.
Well,
yeah, you guys are both independents.
I'm an independent American voter. And I'm saying, no, but even as a liberal, even as a Democrat, lifelong Democrat, over the time that's gone on, I more have seen Trump as like, oh, he's a jokester. You know what I mean? Like as time has progressed, now I'm all reminded of all the fucking batshit crazy this motherfucker is.
Good.
Right?
You're a libtard. So
well, look, but I think that will stand true with the American people.
I think ultimately,
like not that I know he's batshit crazy. I know he's fucking terrible, but I think you just kind of get reminded of how crazy, like, you can't remember how there was just like a fucking like so much crazy shit that happened during his administration.
Yeah,
and this reminds me of all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that excites his base.
How he wins is.
That excites his base in the same way that it frustrates you, right? However, the real point here is, will it actually move the needle for him in a significant way with independent voters, which tended to favor the Democratic Party in the midterm elections? Okay? At a time when the economy was worse than it is now, because inflation has cooled down a little bit, will we have that soft landing? It may be. You know what I mean? It's just entirely dependent on what happens to the economy in the next... in the upcoming year and a half. But having said that, Donald Trump has a lot of negatives now working against him. He is very much a part of the system. So it's a little bit harder for him to, as a former president, make himself seem like the independent candidate that came out of nowhere. That you should,
fighting against the establishment.
Draining
the swamp. He became the swamp. He became what he was fighting against, and he is the establishment.
Yeah.
And he was like the underdog, the outsider. He's no longer the outsider anymore, which is what he struggled with in 2020.
Yeah. But people were willing to give him people were willing to bet on him, especially against Hillary Clinton, who is the face of this rigid establishment.
I
right?
actually think Hillary Clinton would have a better shot the second time.
Oh my God, don't put that out. Don't put that out there. Do not put that out there. Austin, she will hear this and she will run.
Look, all I'm saying is...
Oh my God. Oh no. We're so fucking cooked.
No,
We're done.
all I'm saying is...
We're done, boys. It's over. It's over.
Look, all I'm saying
Trump is the next president.
No.
Hillary Clinton runs right now. Trump is the next president. I 100%
Joe
guarantee.
Biden is a carcass.
Joe Biden is still, as a carcass, better than Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden was a carcass last time he ran, and he beat Donald Trump.
I know, but who
didn't beat Donald Trump? You know who didn't beat Donald Trump? Hillary Rodham Clinton.
I don't know how to say this, but he's somehow less lifeless than he was a few years ago. And I didn't know how that was possible.
That's not even true. He was way worse on the campaign.
They're going to have to give him cocaine before the debates.
Dude, no shot.
They're going to have to pump him. They're going to have to concoct something that will keep his, like, I don't know what's going to happen, man. I don't know. I don't know. He just needs to not campaign.
Bro, Biden is the incumbent. Like, the incumbent advantage is gigantic.
Speaking of New York, I want to ask you about a significant verdict that was reached yesterday. I know this is something you want to weigh in on as well. Manhattan jury found that you sexually abused the writer E. Jean Carroll and defamed her. You've denied...
Oh, this is the best part that's incoming right now.
I've seen it.
He goes off for like 2.5 minutes here, and it's just fucking insane.
But what do you say to voters who say it disqualifies you from being president?
Well, there aren't too many of them because my poll numbers just came out. They went up. Okay.
Ooh, that's a great response.
God,
he's such a piece of shit.
I'm the only person in history who had a charge like that. And usually you leave office, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm going to back home. I'm back home to my family and everything. I'm going to be resigned. My poll numbers went up, and they went up with the other fake charge, too. Because what's happening is they're doing this for election interference. This woman, I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. I had a picture taken years ago with her and her husband, nice guy, John Johnson. He was a newscaster, very nice man. She called him an ape. Happens to be African American. Called him an ape. The judge wouldn't allow us to put that in. Her dog or her cat was named Vagina. The judge wouldn't allow to put that in. All of these things, but with her, they can put in anything. Access Hollywood.
This was a jury of 9 people who found you liable of sexual abuse. Do you think that will deter women from voting for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think
Her cat's name is Vagina. Why? What does that have to do with the case? Like, he's trying to say the judge wasn't impartial. Okay? But, like, I don't even know what, like, how does that prove that the judge was impartial? I mean, the judge was partial, sorry. Vagina. Why is that relevant to the court case at all? I gotta run it back. The way he said that is so funny.
Says
this
Hollywood
was a jury of 9 people.
Her cat was named Vagina.
Her cat was named Vagina. What? Why?
The judge wouldn't allow to put that in. All of these things, but with her, Vagina. Us to put that in. Her dog or her cat was named Vagina.
Why? Why? Why is that a part of the why? Why did you bring that up? Why is that even in any way, shape, or form relevant to this conversation? Or why is that in any shape or form relevant to the court case? It makes no sense. Of course they didn't let you fucking put that in. Because it's so irrelevant. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
The judge wasn't allowed to put that in. All of these things, but with her, they can put in anything. Access,
This
Hollywood,
was a jury of
anything.
9 people who found
That's right.
you liable of sexual abuse.
That's
Do you
right.
think that will deter women from voting for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole thing, just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into, other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old then. This is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her, and she was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry, and a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register. And then she found out there were locks on the door, so she said, I found one that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes, you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay? I don't know if she was married then or not. John Johnson, I feel sorry for you, John Johnson.
Mr. President, can I
but think of it. Think of
I
it.
know you're recounting what she said, but Mr. President.
I wish Austin was here for this. Austin! Yeah. What the fuck? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, well, you're missing really good parts right now. He's cooking, dude.
What?
He's cooking, dude.
I know. Give me a second. Almost done.
I'm also ordering chicken tendies for you.
I'm not hungry.
Well, I'm ordering it anyway.
Okay.
This is a man who is liable to pay $5 million in a defamation suit that found him liable of sexual abuse. Okay? And he's over here completely reframing the narrative in an albeit humorous way. Okay? Is he defaming her right now? Yeah. While also doing the thing that he just lost the court case over. It's crazy. You cannot sit here and tell me that he's not doing a good job on this.
Let me just, if I could, because you asked the question.
This was a
just so
jury,
you understand,
though.
if I was walking in at the because I was very famous then, and I owned the Plaza Hotel right next door, and I owned buildings around it, I'm not going into a dressing room of a crowded department store. Then I say, if she was being raped, and by the way, they said she wasn't raped. Okay, that was her charge. It wasn't.
They found that you sexually abused her.
No, what? Say what? They did. They said he didn't rape her. And
They did
I
not
didn't
say
do
he
anything
did.
else either. You know what? Because I have no idea who the hell she is.
But Mr. President,
I don't know who this woman
can I
is.
ask you, given you're recounting
I
your
don't
version?
know who, and I tell you this.
But, Mr.
Are
President,
you ready?
can I
And I
can I
swear
ask
on
you
my
because-
children, which I'd never do. I have no idea who this woman. This is a fake story.
Okay, he's swearing on Tiffany. I mean, you know, in his mind, he's like, I swear on my children, only Tiffany, not Ivanka. Tiffany can go.
Made up story. We had a horrible Clinton appointed judge. He was horrible. He allowed her to put everything in. He allowed us to put nothing in.
Mr. President,
this is a
you're
fake
recounting your version of
story.
events here right now to the audience. You referenced the trial. You did not go to the trial and actually
That's right.
testify. Do you wish that you had
No,
testified?
it wouldn't have made a difference. This is a rigged.
Sorry, Hasan, you love Trump, but normal people gonna find him disgusting talking like that? Oh yeah, totally. Remember when normal people found him disgusting because he said when you're famous, you can just they'll let you do it. You can grab him by the pussy. Remember that? Or when he said like Mexicans are rapists, normal people would find him disgusting. And then of course he lost to Hillary Clinton because normal people found him disgusting and they thought Hillary Clinton will win, surely. And then she won, and then she was the first female president of the United States of America, and the glass ceiling was broken. Oh yeah, that didn't happen. Because normal people don't give a fuck.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, but
Which
like,
is why I think we should run her again.
Oh my god. Like, but why should normal people give a fuck?
I think we should run Michelle Obama. That's my
Oh
professional
my
opinion.
god. Oh my lord.
I think she'd win. Don't admit she'd win.
I think Michelle Obama would stand a decent chance, but the problem
See,
is
I'm being honest, guys. You guys hate
but
it
the
now
because Trump is not strong. The problem is Michelle Obama is still a relatively known entity, and you think that she would galvanize the liberal base, which is true, she would. But independents that voted for Donald Trump hated Barack Obama and went and voted for Donald Trump. And Michelle Obama is only a continuation of Barack Obama. So you're rehashing the same dynamics.
Yes. The Obama. Okay, now let me tell
In
you.
the
I'm
United
gonna give
States
you
of
two
America,
people. Two
in the
people.
United States of America, you cannot win a larger voter base
Two
with
people.
positive campaigning. You have to just make sure your opposition puts forward a shittier candidate and you depress voter turnout.
Two people that would beat the doors off of Trump. Okay, Michelle Obama and Dwayne the Rock Johnson
Okay, Dwayne the Rock Johnson clears. Yes.
would beat the doors off.
I mean,
of
that's not
Donald
even a question. You can't even put Michelle Obama and Dwayne the Rock Johnson in the same sentence.
Trump. Dwayne the Rock Johnson would destroy
100%.
Donald Trump.
1,000%. 1,000,000%. Yes, I agree.
He would destroy the Rock as president of the United States.
Yes, The Rock would absolutely clear Trump, Joe Biden, most presidents.
And a third one I'm gonna throw into the ring. Last one.
All right, let's hear it.
Terry Crews.
Okay, now you're just doing idiocracy. You're just okay, dude. I mean, come on, dude. No, that's ridiculous. I can't believe you just said that. Yeah, he runs as Camacho. That's his name. President Camacho.
Oh God.
Ay. What a ridiculous.
Let me think of one more that I would really genuinely love to see run. for
Okay, you
president.
think, wow, this is
Deal. This was my lawyer said, sir, you don't have to do it. I actually said, I think I should. It would be respectful. They said, sir, don't do it. This is a fake story, and you don't want to give it credibility. That's why I didn't go.
One thing you did do in this.
And I swear, and I've never done that, and I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a
Mr.
whack
President,
job.
Guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't born here. Like, he can run for governor and win, but he can't be the president. Okay? He's Austrian.
you did not testify in person in this trial. There was a taped deposition of you from October in it. You defended the comments that you made on that Access Hollywood tape about being able to grab women how you want.
See,
Do you stand by
look,
those comments?
The audience is already going, oh. You want to know why?
Because they're all his voters.
Yeah, well, that is true. But also, they're going, oh, because this is double jeopardy at this point. Okay? He has been found not guilty in the eyes of the American public for saying what he said about women, like letting themselves letting Trump grab them by the pussy. Because he became president after that. So, like, rehashing that over and over again is so fucking stupid. Like, it's fine. I get why you'd be upset about that. I totally do. But, like, you're not making a good point at that point. Like, if your job is to, like, belittle him, humiliate him, call him into account, then do a better job, because no one gives a shit about that. They voted for him. They voted for him after the fact. It's been years and years. How is it any different than Trump constantly crying about Hillary Clinton, which he stopped doing, by the way? He doesn't do that anymore, if you noticed.
Well, yeah, crooked Hillary. They try to apply the same things the attacks on Hillary that they do on Biden.
Okay, I gotta add 2 points here. One, I don't think Donald Trump is gonna win. Okay, unless CNN keeps doing this shit, because oh my lord, I think Donald Trump has a shot at victory if CNN and mainstream media keep covering him this way. I'm not even kidding. Like, they are. It's like CNN recognized that Trump's chances are shitty, and they were like, oh, we gotta fucking help him out. It's crazy.
I understand. This is what I think Trump's going to do in the Republican primary. Well, he's just going to clear. It doesn't even matter. But I think he's going to...
Well, you don't think the Indian dude is going to win with 1%?
Or DeSantis.
Well, DeSantis is not even... Yeah, he's not even running, so...
Wait, he's not?
Well, he hasn't announced it, and I don't think he will.
He'd be stupid. It's political suicide, right? Because then he gets dragged through a primary, becomes less likable, and then loses.
Yeah, I mean, Trump will destroy him. He's such a pussy to Trump anyway.
Will Trump even show up to the debates? He can't help himself.
No, I think. I mean, it depends. Depends on who his detractors are. Like, if they get enough clout and enough momentum behind them, and they force Donald Trump into debates, and Fox News, I think, will side with whoever the fuck is gonna go up against Donald Trump, because, like, at least for the primaries, they would want that to happen, because they don't want Donald Trump to be president. That much is clear, because Donald Trump is a liability to the party. So I don't know. What is this? Damn, so many breaking news happening today.
I said if you're famous and rich or whatever I said, but I said if you're a star, you...
Ratings are out for the town hall, 3.1 million, less than an average Tucker night on Fox. No, it's a little bit higher. Tucker is getting like 2.3. On good nights, he's getting 3. But again, you're right. CNN should be able to get more than Tucker Carlson on primetime for a Donald Trump town hall. So they're not even getting the rating juice that they needed. Wait, what? DeSantis did announce? Wait, what do you mean he announced?
No, he didn't. We would know that unless it was like right now.
What?
No, he didn't. They're referring to the time when he says, I haven't even announced yet.
Yeah, he just said stay tuned. He didn't actually announce.
Yeah. He alluded to it.
Who are, and I said, women let you. I didn't say you grab. I said women let. You know, you didn't use that word, but if you look, women let you. Now, they said, will you take that back? I said, look, for a million years, this is the way it's been. I want to be honest. This is the way it's been. I can take it back if you'd like to, but if you're a famous person, if you're a star, and I'm not referring to myself, I'm saying people that are famous, people that are
You were
stars,
asked in the deposition,
people
do you
that are
consider
rich,
yourself to be a star, and
people
you
that are
said yes.
powerful, they tend to do pretty well in a lot of different ways, okay? And you would like me to take that back? I can't take it back because it happens to be true. I said it's been true for 1 million years, approximately 1 million years, perhaps a little bit longer than that.
So you stand by those comments?
Well, I don't want to lie.
Mr. President, we have a lot of
here's what
questions.
she wants
Mr.
me to
President,
say.
let's
A
get to
rich
the
and
audience
famous
questions
person
tonight.
has no advantage over anyone else. Well, you do have an advantage, and I say unfortunately, but that's the way it is.
You said fortunately or unfortunately.
Well,
but Mr.
fortunately or
President, we have a lot
unfortunately
of
for
audience
her.
questions to get to tonight. I want to go back to the audience. We've got Danielle Rieger. She works as an oral surgery assistant. She's a Republican activist from Derry. She was a New Hampshire delegate for you in 2020. What's your question?
Hi, thank you so much for coming to New Hampshire to answer our questions. My question is regarding the economy. Over the past 2 years, we have seen the prices for everything skyrocket. From food to gas to utilities and insurance costs, many people's bills are up several $100s a month, including mine. If elected president again, what is the first thing you would do to help bring down the cost to make things more affordable?
Drill, baby, drill. You know what that is. So, we were energy independent. We were soon going to be energy dominant. And nobody had ever done what I did. We got oil down to $1.87. Actually, it fell lower than that in some cases. We had to save the oil companies, the price was getting so. We were doing incredibly. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country, probably the greatest economy in the history of the world. We were energy independent, soon to be energy dominant. We were going to be bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together ×2. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation, And these stupid fools ended it. And energy went from $1.87 and even lower for gasoline, for a car. They went from $1.87 to $5, $6, $7, $8, and even $9. and your electricity bills went through the roof, your heating bills went through the roof, and that's what started inflation, and it hasn't stopped because people are paying now for...
E. Jean Carroll is already considering a new... I mean, this is BNO News. I don't know how fucking real this is, but it doesn't really matter because she does have every right to do so because Donald Trump just lost the defamation suit and then literally defamed her in the exact same way. Like, that's crazy. He's doing the Alex Jones double down, dude. KFC double down, baby. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Why do conservatives keep doing this? I guess they just, like, legitimately think that there is nothing. There's no legal recourse. And the criminal justice system and the legal system in general, like the court system, no matter what, with the exception of family court, of course. God damn it, Brenda, you took the children. Are always going to side with them. Like, I don't know what it is. They just don't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
For bacon and for eggs and for the 2 and 3 times what it was just a little while ago. We created the greatest economy in history. A big part of that economy was got you the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan cuts, bigger than any...
Why are you clapping?
And also, Caitlin, also, as you know, we got the biggest regulation and regulatory cuts. This place was rocking, and then we were given a gift from China, and China paid a big price. And let me tell you something. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes from China, but prior to COVID coming in, and then I rebuilt the economy again, a second time. But we had, prior to COVID coming in as from China, from Wuhan, which I said it came from Wuhan. Everybody said, oh, you're wrong about that. You're wrong. It came from Wuhan. I said it right from day one. So we had the greatest economy in the world. Here's the story. They made energy so high, and energy is all invasive. It is massive as an industry and as a cost. It lifted everything. If you made donuts, no matter what you did, and we had inflation, the likes of which I guess we haven't had, as I said, for 52 years, but I think more than that. We had no inflation. We had the lowest energy prices we've had in decades. This country was rocking and rolling. And by the way, we had the most secure border in the history of our country.
Mr. President, we have more questions on the economy. I want to make sure we get to all of those. As you know, the U.S. right now could be just 3 weeks away from defaulting on its debt. That could mean millions of jobs lost, people not getting their Social Security payments. People believe it would put the U.S. economy into a recession. On that topic, I want to bring in Marta Cervella, a student here at St. Anselm. She is an undeclared voter who did not vote in 2020. Marta, what's your question?
Hi, Mr. President.
Hi, thank you.
So my question is, what do you think about the United States' current debt situation, and how can we move forward?
Such an important question. So we're at $33 trillion, a number that nobody ever thought possible. When we had our economy rocking and rolling just prior to COVID coming in, like literally, we were making a fortune. And oil, we were going to make so much money from oil, we were going to start paying off debt. But then with COVID coming in, we had to do other things. We had to keep this country alive because it was so serious.
Taxes.
But we have to get the country back. We have to lower energy prices. We have to lower interest rates. Interest rates are through the roof. Energy has to come down. It all has to come down, and we have to start paying off debt. But when we have a debt limit, and they use that very seriously in me. They came in, Schumer came in with Nancy Pelosi, and they were using, we'll violate it, we'll do whatever. They talked a whole lot different than they do right now. I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default. And I don't believe they're going to do a default because I think the Democrats will absolutely cave because you don't want to have that happen. But it's better than what we're doing right now, because we're spending money like drunken sailors.
So just to be clear, Mr. President, you think the U.S. should default if the White House does not agree to the spending cuts Republicans are demanding?
Well, you might as well do it now because you'll do it later, because we have to save this country. Our country is dying. Our country is being destroyed by stupid people, by very stupid people.
You once said that using the debt ceiling as a negotiating wedge just could not happen. You said that
the debt ceiling is for bills that have already been accounted for.
Yes.
Right? It's not for new spending. It's for things that we've money already spent, right?
Yes.
when you were in the
That's
Oval
when I was
Office.
president.
So why is it different now that you're out of office?
Because now I'm not president.
He literally admitted why he's
The U.S. defaulting would be massively
Well, you
consequential
don't know.
for everyone in this room, for all
You don't know.
Americans.
It's psychological. It's really psychological more than anything else. And it could be very bad. It could be maybe nothing. Maybe you have a bad week or a bad day. But look, you have to cut your costs. We're spending $7 trillion on, much of it on nonsense. $7 trillion on nonsense.
We've got
And
another
I actually
question from a
said,
voter tonight.
get all of that money that was wasted, and frankly, the Senate should have never approved it. Get all that money that was wasted, and if they don't get rid of that, you'll have to default. Okay?
Mr.
You'll have to
President,
default.
we've got another voter here tonight.
And by the way, you're going to default eventually anyway, but it's going to be much messier. I don't think you'll have to default. I think if the Republicans hold strong and they say let's say we want $5 trillion off, I really think the Democrats have no choice but to do it. And if I win, they're going to be doing the same thing to me in 2 years. I guarantee you that.
Mr. President,
they're
we've
going to
got
play a
another
very
voter here
hardball game,
tonight.
and they did that before.
Bobby Petrino has been waiting very patiently.
Sure.
He's a student at St. Anselm. He's a member of College Republicans. He's an undeclared voter right now. He supported you in 2020. Bobby, what's your question for President Trump?
Hi, thank you for coming. This is a bit of a pivot, but with gun violence and mass shootings in the news cycle recently, I'm worried that state governments and the federal government are going to act to repress gun rights. Under your administration, you instructed the Department of Justice and the ATF to ban bump stocks. If elected president again, how would you act not only to defend our Second Amendment rights, but to restore rights that have been taken from us, such as, by example, recently the ATF's ruling on the pistol stabilizing braces?
Yeah, as you know, the bump stocks are actually a very unimportant thing. And NRA, I went with them, and they said it doesn't mean anything. Or actually, all they do is teach you how to shoot very inaccurately. So we did that. There's been nobody that's protected the Second Amendment, as you know, like I have. I protected it through thick and thin, not easy to do. But we have a very big mental health problem in this country. And again, it's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person that pulls the trigger. And we have to protect our Second Amendment. We have to protect our Second Amendment.
Mr. President, you dealt with a lot of mass shootings when you were in office. This year, there have already been more than 200 mass shootings in 2023. If you are reelected, are there any new gun restrictions that you would sign into law?
I would do numerous things. For instance, schools, we would harden, very much harden. And I'm a very believer. I believe in teachers. I love teachers. I think they're incredible. And they love the children, not quite like the parents, but they love the children in many cases almost as much. Many of these teachers are soldiers, ex-soldiers, ex-policemen.
What?
They're people that really understand weapons, and you don't need 5% of the teachers would be more than you could ever have if you're going to hire security guards. But in addition to that, have security guards. You have to harden your entrances. You have to make schools safe, and you can make other places safe. But it is a big mental health problem in this country more than anything else. And remember, we have 700 million guns, 700 million. Many people, if they don't have a gun, they're not going to be very safe. I mean, if they don't have a gun, it gives them security. Now, you need them for entertainment, you need them for hunting, you need them for a lot of different things. But there are people that if they didn't have the privilege of having a gun in some form, many of them would not be alive today. You know,
that's the thing.
Bro, we are such a joke of a country. Okay? We are the fart of the world. Okay? He just fucking said there's 700 million guns in circulation. That's why you need guns. Like, as in implying that guns are dangerous, and the only way to combat guns is more guns. I mean, there's nothing you can do to that. Like, how? If that messaging sticks, it's a wrap. And it has. It kind of has stuck. The only way to combat gun violence is with more gun violence, but, like, in the right direction. That's awesome. What do you say to that? Nothing. You got nothing. We're owned. We're done. We're done. This country's done. Sir?
Sorry.
You can unpause it.
There's a certain country that had a very strict policy on guns, very, very strict.
Which country?
And, Brazil, okay? Brazil, very strict. And the former president of Brazil, and the the killing was incredible. They were walking into people's homes and killing people. They had no protection. He said, go out and buy guns. People went out and bought guns, and it went way down. The numbers went way down because they had security. If you look at Chicago, Chicago has the single toughest gun policies in the nation. They are so tough you can't breathe. New York, too, and other places also. All of those places are the worst and most dangerous places. So that's not the answer.
No new restrictions that you would sign if reelected, Mr. President. I want you to meet Julie Miles, a registered nurse from Merrimack. She's a Republican who voted for you in 2020. Julie, what's your question for the president?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate you answering this question this evening. How do you plan to appeal to women voters in New Hampshire who are concerned about the Dobbs decision and how states may change their laws?
It's such a great question, and it was such a great victory, and people are starting to understand it now. You know that they wanted to bring it back to the states, but that was probably the least important part of that victory. Getting rid of Roe v. Wade was an incredible thing for pro-life because it gave pro-life something to negotiate with. Pro-life had absolutely nothing being stuck in Roe v. Wade to negotiate with. And now what's happening, and I see it all over, deals are being made, deals are going to be made, and look, everybody that was president wanted to get rid and tried to get rid of Roe v. Wade.
You mean
for 50 years, Republicans.
I agree.
Bad question.
It is a bad answer.
Abortions are at an all-time high in popularity. Or the women's bodily autonomy.
This is perhaps the most important question of the town hall, and he's currently flubbing it.
Terrible answer.
Normally he avoids this. Like, I avoid the top of the hour ad break.
Women's bodily autonomy is incredibly popular.
Normally he fucking...
Even in states like Kentucky, right? Kentucky, they voted to...
Yeah.
Uphold the right.
They did.
To women's body...
Yes.
Body autonomy. It's not popular anymore.
Yes.
That wedge issue is not popular anymore.
It's never been popular. But it was always a great motivator for the evangelicals.
Right. And now they've gotten
It became a liability once they actually acted on it.
Yeah.
That is literally the reason why I was like, there's no way they'll actually repeal Roe v. Wade. That's crazy. Like, there's no fucking way. The reason why I always said that was because, like, it is so stupid. It is such a major misstep. Like, it blows my fucking mind.
But then here he is doubling down. It's a bad answer.
Which is why I'm shocked. Because Donald Trump usually is not this, like, open and shut, not this cut and dry. He's way more shifty and he's way more dodgy. He still tried to dodge it, if you notice. He's like, well, you know, it's good because now we can negotiate. Now we can negotiate. That's a pussy-ass answer.
He also said, the woman, the lady that asked the question, kind of set him up to sort of give a soft answer too.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh yeah, no, it's good that we."
How do you address? He's supposed to address the concerned voter, aka the ones that did not support the Roe v. Wade decision, but instead he said it's a great victory. He doubled down on it, said it was wonderful, and it's a great victory for pro-life.
Look, this is the truth. Donald Trump knows this.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused.
Yeah, that's why it was shocking that he fucking answered it that way. I'm shocked because that's such a bad answer. That's what I'm shocked about. He was getting bad information about how popular it was. It was his sycophants inflating. Does he go? No. No, Trump knows how to read the room, man. He knew that, like, abortion is a good motivator for evangelicals, but never when you actually... You don't let the dog finally catch up to the car. Because the dog doesn't know what to do when he's chasing the car, everything's fine. But when you finally catch up to the car, all of a sudden, you have no fucking clue what's going on. What the dog doing? At the top of the hour, the dog is subscribing. If you got that dog in you, you subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime to avoid the top of the hour ad breaks. If you no longer want to see those ads, this is all you got to do. Or you can get gifted a sub. Here is the 3-minute ad break now.
50 years, this has been going on, actually a couple of Democrats too, but for 50 years, this has been going on. I was able to do it, and I was very honored to do it. But by doing it, things are happening that are very, very positive. And I happen to believe in the exceptions, the life of the mother, rape, incest, like Ronald Reagan believed in the exceptions. But I happen to believe that. I think it's frankly important to do that, but a lot of people are, against that. A relatively small number. But the way I look, I think it's very important.
Look at him, dude. He's flubbing it. Are you seeing this?
Yes, it's a bad answer. It's a bad answer.
He's behaving like a Democrat right now. He's trying to reposition his stance. Abortion is murder. Now it's like, well, with some exceptions. And some people are against it. I don't know. It's a small group of people that are against the exception.
To say this, I consider the other side to be radical because the other side, under Roe v. Wade and other things, the other side, they're radical because they will. Remember the debate with Hillary Clinton? I said, rip the baby out of the womb at the end of the 9th month. They will kill the baby in the 9th month.
They're going to shoot the baby
if you
after
look
it
at
comes
that
out
crazy
alive
governor of Virginia, from
months.
the former governor,
where
he said, no, the baby will be born, and then we'll decide essentially whether or not to execute the baby.
Mr. President, can we talk about what you would do if you are...
That's the only good law, folks. I'm going to put in. We can't shoot
But
the
if
baby.
you are reelected and you're back in the Oval Office and you get legislation to your
No
desk,
guns
would
in the
you sign
delivery
a
room,
federal
folks.
abortion ban into law?
What I'll do is negotiate so that people are happy. But the fact that I was able, I'm so proud of it. We put 3 great justices on the Supreme Court. We have almost 300 federal judges.
So just to be clear, Mr. President, you would sign a federal abortion ban into law.
I said this. I want to do what's right. And we're looking. And we want to do what's right for everybody.
But what's right?
But now, for the first time,
What's
the
right?
people that are pro-life have negotiating capability because you didn't have it before. They could kill the baby in the 9th month or after the baby was born. Now they won't be able to do that.
Bro, he's trying to reposition this as a the abolition. I mean the.
Wait, what is he saying? You could kill the baby after a 9-month, after it was delivered alive?
Yeah, that stuff is a lie. It doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
But listen, you're failing to see the.
That's wild.
You're failing to see the forest for the trees. This is really important. He is trying to re-triangulate the abortion conversation and failing. This is huge. Because this is the most important issue of the upcoming election, of any election, until people basically normalize that kind of violence against women. And it's still, it's still a matter up for debate, right? You know what I mean? Whether this is appropriate or not. We're not at the position where it's like Handmaid's Tale yet. We could get there. We are bouldering towards that reality, but we're not there yet. Deeply unpopular for the Republican Party, which is why they are forced to triangulate again and figure out exactly how to message on this. Okay? So Trump's shitty-ass fucking solution to that problem was to say, oh, I eviscerated abortion protections in this country so that the evangelicals could have a say in the process.
Well, and then he's also saying...
That's a horrible...
She's asking him a direct question if he's going to codify it into law. And he just got done saying, it's a great victory for pro-life, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see what happens. We'll have an... You know what I mean? It's just...
You missed the biggest part of what he said about default. He thinks if we default, our debt is wiped out. He literally thinks default is like declaring bankruptcy, which is how he gets out of debt every time he overborrows and abuses the system. He's so stupid. Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I did miss that part. You're right. You don't know if he's failing. This may be a way for him to downplay it. Yeah, no, I don't think it's successful messaging.
It's wishy-washy.
Trump is simple. He's a simple man. He knows his audience are a bunch of fucking baboons, okay? They're a bunch of cackling hyenas. He just gives them meat, okay? He says yes, no, wrong.
Sad.
Lock her up. Build the wall. Trump doesn't say, well, there's exceptions to the pregnancy of the mother and the viability of the womb and the 8 months and the 9 months. And this is a really good negotiation tactic now before the pro-life movement. No, he doesn't do that shit. He's doing it now because he's forced to. He knows this is a deeply unpopular thing to say. He knows that they're fucked. And he's trying to desperately find a way to unfuck the situation and message his way out of this corner that he's backed into. That is incredibly weak for perhaps one of the most important issues of this election cycle. Okay? That's unacceptable. He can have like all the E.G. and Carroll, like, oh, she called their cat a vagina, all that stuff, all day, every day. But ultimately, elections are for adults. Elections are for suburban, upper middle class, white moms and dads. Okay? Those are the guys who vote. And those guys are very pissed off that the sweatiest, most psychotic losers in the Republican Party have been able to get this massive electoral victory without an election, okay, by way of the Supreme Court, by weaponizing these like elected people that they are not elected, sorry, appointed people. They're pissed off because it harms them, it harms their daughters, it harms their sons, you know what I mean, who might accidentally knock someone up. Republicans get abortions, okay? Americans get abortions, Republicans get abortions. The fact that you would criminalize this process and continue pushing to criminalize it and to codify that criminalization is a really fucking bad idea, which is why I thought Trump would move away from that immediately. And here he is trying to basically say, oh, no, this is for normalcy, this is for reason, so that we can actually find a reasonable middle ground for abortion. Nobody wants that shit, dog. No fucking way. You're not Hillary Clinton, okay? No one in your party is voting for you because you are going to be the moderation guy. You're going to be the triangulation guy. You're going to be the guy who like is, focus grouping every kind of, sentiment, every kind of legislative agenda point that he has. You're the guy who reads the room and reads the room very well. All of this spells trouble for Donald Trump. I'll tell you that much. Sorry for, just ranting. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
I get it 100%. That was my time.
A really important question for you to answer, because this is something every Republican, including those who are running against you for the nomination, are being asked about is, would you sign a federal abortion ban into law?
And many of them are going to give you the same answer as I am. First of all, I am honored to have done what I did. And a lot of people said in 150 years, he's now the most consequential president because he saved so many lives. And I'm honored
okay, bro.
to have done it. And because of what I've done, we now have a great negotiating ability. That's what I do in life. I negotiate. We have a great negotiating ability, and I think we're going to be able to get something done.
What do you mean negotiating ability? Because the question that Republicans have, and some of your allies on Capitol Hill say that they want to introduce legislation when it comes to banning abortion. If they send it to your desk, would you sign it?
Some people are at 6 weeks. Some people are at 3 weeks,
where's
2 weeks.
President Trump?
President Trump is going to make a determination what he thinks is great for the country and what's fair for the country. But the fact that I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade after 50 years of trying, they worked for 50 years. I've never seen anything like it. They worked, and I was so honored to have done it. We are in a very good negotiating position right now, only because of what I was.
Dog. If it's a good thing, why are you talking about the triangulation? If it's a good thing, why are you talking about 3 months, 6 months, 4 months, 8 months? If it's a good thing, why are you owning it? You're owning it on the one side of your mouth, and then you're disowning it on the other side of your mouth by moving the goalposts away, shifting everyone's attention away from basically owning it. If it's that fucking good, why do you keep saying, well, it's great for negotiations? Motherfucker, what negotiations? You won. You took the dub. In this situation, if you truly were on board with the actions, you would say, we took the dub. We saved lives. That's it. Why can't he say that?
I don't know.
I know why.
Well, he needs his base.
Because it's deeply fucking unpopular, even in his own base. That's why. So now he has to say, oh, no, there is still a continued fight, a continued struggle. And I simply helped you get an upper hand here. That's not the case, though. You won.
Was able to do. And remember this, again, you talk about radicalism. People that will kill a baby in the 9th month or the 8th month or the 7th month or after the baby is born, They're the radicals, not the pro-life
I just want to
people.
give you. I just want to give you one more chance, though, because you did not answer whether or not you'd sign a federal abortion ban.
By the way, the counter to this is perfect. You say, oh, they're radicals. Okay. Name every single state that offers no exception. There are plenty of them. Name every single one and say, don't you think this is infinitely more radical? Because a 9-month abortion, a late-term abortion in the 3rd trimester is only happening because the mother, the carrier, has an non-viable fetus, or the fetus is basically doing harm to the carrier itself, threatening the fucking safety of the carrier. You stop that. You want to stop that from happening, and not only that, but you've stopped ectopic pregnancies from being terminated. There are teenagers that are dying, victims of incest, teenage pregnancies, victims of rape, that are fucking dying because you took away women's bodily autonomy. That's the radical position. And everybody knows that that's the radical position, which is why Trump is having such a fucking hard time recalibrating his commentary on this position in and of itself. That's it. He can fucking say 9-month abortions all day, every day.
Or how many weeks into pregnancy you believe abortion should be banned.
Yeah, but I've
Can you
given
answer
you,
either
I've
of those
given you
tonight?
the answer probably 4 times already.
Which one
I'm
is it,
looking,
though?
I'm
You haven't
looking at
answered.
a solution that's going to work. Very
Yeah.
complex issue for the country.
Grab
You
the
have people
chicken
on both
tender
sides of an
there.
issue.
Yep.
But
There's
we are
another
now
bag
in a
of
very
fries,
strong
too.
position. Pro-life people are in a strong
you.
position to make a deal that's going to be good and going to be satisfactory for them. If you weren't able to get rid of, you wouldn't be having a discussion if you weren't able to get rid of Roe v. Wade, which put pro-life in a dead position, a horrible position. They could kill the baby at any time they wanted to, but we did something that nobody thought was doable. And other Republican presidents, and others, by the way, they wanted to get it out. They also wanted to bring it back to the states, but bringing it back to the states is a less important issue
But that's why
than
it's
the
the
issue that
question
we
about a
just talked
federal
about.
abortion ban. You did not say yes or no to.
Bro. This is terrible. He is so bad. He instead of taking the dub and saying a murder is a murder, because a murder is not a murder, not all murders are equal apparently, he has to fucking be like, oh, no, I did this for a conversation. I did this so that we can have like some moderation. That's terrible.
that.
It
You did
depends
not
what
say how many
depends
weeks.
what the deal is. Lindsey Graham's
You did not
a
say
good
how many
man.
weeks.
He's got an idea, and a lot of other people have an idea. And I look at all the
And a
different
lot of people
ideas, and
will
I'll
be curious what
I'll
your
make the right
idea is on
decision.
that. President Trump, we've got more questions to come for you tonight.
I'll
We'll
make
be
the right
right back
decision for the
in just a moment.
He won't answer it. That's not good to be wishy-washy. They know what his answer is. The only reason to be wishy-washy, even the audience isn't clapping. Oh, they're clapping loud.
Welcome back to CNN's Republican Presidential Town Hall with former President Donald Trump. President Trump, I'd like you to meet Jennifer Simmons. She is a stay-at-home mom and former town selectman from Wyndham.
And
She's a
she's
Republican and she voted for you in 2020. Jennifer, what's your question tonight?
Good evening, Mr. President. Title 42 is expected to expire tomorrow. Our southern border and now our northern border are experiencing record migration.
She lives in New Hampshire.
You don't understand.
She lives in New Hampshire.
No, you don't understand. They're under attack, dude.
She lives in New Hampshire.
MS-13 is so active in
She's
New Hampshire.
We learned on May 2nd that the Biden administration plans on deploying 1,500 troops to the southern border. Do you agree?
Did she say snow Mexico?
No.
Did she say our northern border is under attack?
Wait, no, hold on.
No, I'm not even. I think.
And now our northern border are experiencing record migration.
Hold on, wait.
Tomorrow.
What's your question tonight?
Good evening, Mr. President. Title 42 is expected
It's
to
happening.
expire tomorrow. Our
It's
southern
happening.
border and now our northern border are experiencing record
It's happening.
migration.
Northern border,
We learned
It's
on May
happening.
2nd
Snow
that-
Mexico is in effect. Patriots are rising up. Republicans are finally coming on board with the hasanabi mindset.
Bro.
Oh my God. I have been waiting for this
The
moment.
journey to Canada is insane. Like what?
Dude, I've been waiting for this moment, dude.
People
I've
are
been
sneaking into Canada, then sneaking into the United States.
I've been joking about how we need to shut off our border to Snow Mexico for the longest time, and now Republicans are finally advocating for it.
That is so funny.
It's so good. It's it. We did it. We did it. This community did
That
it.
the Biden administration plans on deploying 1,500 troops to the southern border. Do you agree with deploying troops to the border?
He's like, why not troops to the northern border? Please say that.
And how will a Trump administration slow down the rate of migrants coming across all our borders?
Sure. A very fair question, especially since tomorrow is going to be a day of infamy. You're going to have tens of thousands of people pouring into our country. Even the judge, the judge overruled them when they wanted to terminate it early. And he said, that you better extend this thing. The judge in Texas said, I hope you're going to extend this, but this is my policy that they're letting terminate because they lost in court. They wanted to go earlier. You're going to have millions of people pouring into our country right now at a level that nobody's ever seen before. These people are sick. Anybody that wants this to happen to our country, they're destroying our country, and this should not be allowed to happen. How they're not going to do a version of Title 42 or my Title 42, which was tough. If people are sick and have infectious diseases and lots of other problems, we don't want them being into our country. We have enough problems right now. We have problems like we've never had in the history of our country.
But Mr. President,
our country is being destroyed.
The reason it's ending is because the health policy, the COVID era pandemic emergency, is coming to an end. That's what Title 42 was. You put it in place because
That's
of COVID.
true, but
when it comes to big questions about what your immigration
I love that, that was even ever a point of contention. This was a serious health policy from the guy who just said COVID is fake over and over again. I guess everyone already kind of knew, so it doesn't really matter, but it does feel kind of interesting to watch Donald Trump and even the Brandon administration openly fucking uphold Title 42 as a method, as a mechanism of immigration control to stop people who have both the legal and moral right to seek asylum in this country. These are asylum seekers that are not allowed inside of U.S. borders, specifically because of some bullshit fucking CDC rule.
You're not amusing, Austin? All right.
No, he's saying, no. He's saying, I'm not entertaining you.
Oh, fuck.
Why are you so aggressive?
You need to use... No, actually, he used proper grammar, and I misread it. I do apologize. Or they.
Why did
used
you?
proper grammar.
Yeah. Why did you fucking?
I thought it was.
Why are you so ready to rush?
They
on
used
a
proper grammar, and I misread it because if it was you're not amusing Austin, it would have been you're not amusing, comma Austin. But they said you're not amusing Austin, and I should have understood that, and I do apologize. In fact, I'd like to promote you to VIP.
No.
Okay.
that's
Sorry.
not happening.
policy would look like if you are reelected. Some of your
Overruled by the
Republican
Supreme
rivals have
Court.
criticized you for not fulfilling the promises that you made on the campaign trail, like finishing the border wall. So how do voters know that you...
CNN is insane, bro. She just said you lied and didn't finish the border wall. When will we get a bigger border wall? That's an insane thing to hear from CNN.
I'm curious what he says.
would get those done if you're reelected?
I did finish the wall. I built a wall. I
And
built
now we're
hundreds
gonna
of
build a
miles
bigger
of wall,
one, folks.
and I finished it. And then I said, we have to build some more because there are areas like water going through a dam. There are some areas where a lot of people are coming. You close up one and they come into another. And we started another 100 miles of wall. In fact, I said to my people, if we start this and don't finish it, and then we had a rigged election, I'm sorry to say it.
The election was not rigged, Mr.
good, I
President.
know.
You
I'm
can't keep
glad
saying
you're
that all
saying
night long.
And so
You cannot
then
keep saying
they
that the
took
election
over
was
and they
rigged.
decided not to finish it. It would have taken them three.
Like she's upset that what Trump didn't build a bigger wall like he promised. She's upset about the election. She's upset about abortion a little bit. Like, God, she's such a classic fucking American neoliberal who is, of course, on the conservative side on almost all the issues. She's like, Mr. President, why didn't you kill more Muslims during your presidency? You promised, and you did not fulfill that obligation. Why not? Like, how can your voters believe you on this issue?
3 weeks. I built hundreds of miles of wall. If we didn't have it, it would be hard to believe it could be any worse. They're just letting people flow into our country. Look, a country has to have borders. There's never been anything like is happening to our country right now.
You built about 52 miles of new wall when you were in office, Mr. President. It wasn't the complete wall. One other thing that with
No, but I have to respond to that.
With your immigration, it was only about 52 miles of new wall.
This is what she does. I built hundreds of miles. Some of the wall was up there, and it would be laying on the ground, rusted, rotten steel, rusted, rotten wood, and what the radical left crazy Democrats did, if there's a piece of wood laying down, they consider that a wall. I built 30-foot walls that go down 7 feet into the ground. If there was a little piece of wood sitting in the ground, they said, oh, he's not building a wall. We already had a wall. Because this is the game. They're a party of disinformation.
It's not a game, Mr. President. It's about 52 miles of new wall. One other immigration policy you had when you were in office.
I built new wall.
52 miles
for hundreds of miles.
CBP, Mr.
What I did is I
President.
replaced other wall that was laying down, that was up and rotting in the ground for 30 years. Some of it was steel that you couldn't even see.
Mr. President, it was only about 52 miles of new wall. But moving on, another immigration policy you had was the zero tolerance immigration policy that separated families.
Like, what the fuck does this mean? Like, what? Why are you upset that he lied about, like, not building a wall? What the fuck? She's like, it only makes her come across like she literally wants the wall. It's like,
I think
Mr.
the
President.
strategy is to show.
It's a bullshit strategy.
That's all I'm saying. I think it was a strategy.
It's to show that, like, he doesn't fulfill his promises. Okay, there's plenty of fucking promises that he didn't fulfill. There's absolutely zero reason to be like, you only built 52 miles of wall, pussy. Like, it's just so stupid. That's not a tough question at all.
At the border. If you are reelected, are you ruling out instituting that?
Well, when you have that policy, people don't come. If a family hears that they're going to be separated, they love their family. They don't come. So I know it sounds harsh, but if you remember they said I was building prisons for children. It turned out that it was Obama that was building the prisons for the children.
Would you re-implement that if you're reelected? Is that what you're saying?
We have to save our country, all right? We
So it
can't
sounds
afford,
like that's a yes.
No.
So Obama did a good thing? Like, what? This is what... Okay. Americans are very stupid, but, like, definitely under the Trump administration, we reached, like, a new level. Like, we definitely leveled up in stupidity. Where Donald Trump routinely will contradict himself, and it doesn't even fucking matter. And it makes me so mad. Like, it frustrates me to no fucking end. Haha, owned, get wrecked, liberal. You're mad, so now you lost. But it just frustrates me so much when Donald Trump will say, oh, you want me to not, separate the babies and the mothers. Okay, very bad policy. But they said I built the prisons, but actually Obama built the prisons. It's like, okay, so did Obama do the good policy then? Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, it's happening constantly.
There's no fucking thread to follow, and these donkeys don't even give a shit. Which brings me back to the original point about the wall. Because the donkeys don't give a shit, and they're just, like, responding to shapes, colors, and lights that they see on television. When you try to get a gotcha on Donald Trump by being like, he didn't build a wall, what's up with that? That's never going to work on anyone. No independent voter is going to be like, oh yeah, that's right, he didn't build the wall, so I guess maybe I don't want to vote for him this time. And no fucking Republican gives a shit about that anyway, because they don't think Donald Trump could ever do wrong. So who are you trying to win in that regard? You know what I mean? There's no reason to bring stuff like that up. Like, oh, Mr. President, you just got fact-checked. All you're doing is, like, you look like a nerd. And in this regard, you kind of look like a nerd who really wanted the wall to be built and was disappointed that it didn't, that it didn't get built.
When you say to a family that if you come, we're going to break you up, they don't come. And we can't afford to have any more. Look at New York City. Look what's happening. They're living in Central Park in New York City. The city is being swamped. Los Angeles is being swamped. Iowa is being swamped. Our whole country is being destroyed.
Iowa?
Millions of people are coming into our country.
Iowa?
Yeah, nobody lives there, so who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna fact check them? You know what I mean?
Nobody. Yeah.
Iowans,
The people in
they don't
Iowa.
They don't even have internet.
The people in Iowa would agree anyway. So
Yeah.
In there, they look out their windows of. They don't even.
Yeah, it's just corn, and then they're
corn,
like,
yeah.
That Mexican corn,
That's
brother.
right, illegal Mexican corn.
Country. And you know what the number is going to be, in my opinion, by the end of the year? Not the 4 million that you hear and the 3 million. And
10,
I think it's going to be
20,
15 million people. And in these people, they have no idea where they come from. They come from 129 different countries so far. 120,
Mr.
not just
President,
the four that we talked
Just to put a button on that, it sounds like what you're saying is that you're not ruling out re-implementing that immigration policy. I want to get to another voter. Caitlin Boissonneau is a student here at St. Anselm College. She's a Republican. This will be the first election that she has voted in. What's her question for the president, Caitlin?
Hello, President Trump.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
The current administration has made it clear that we should continue to provide military equipment to Ukraine so that they can defend themselves. Do you support this decision, and how would you deal with the increasing threat posed by Vladimir?
This is a good question.
I'm curious because he may actually.
Because he's gonna get his fun. This is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, makes it.
Because like again, he needs to he will say like, you know, we're giving too much money to Ukraine, right? Putin's a very bad guy, but we're giving too much money to Ukraine. Under me, there would have been no war. Putin, he respected me. He was afraid of me. He respected me. Didn't need to give Ukraine guns.
Vladimir Putin.
First of all, thank you very much. It's really nice. And it's an important question, so important, because we're giving away so much equipment. We don't have ammunition for ourselves right now. We don't have ammunition for ourselves. We're giving away so much. But here's the thing. I have to say it to start off. No longer matters. If I were president, this would have never happened. And even the Democrats admit that. Putin knew it would have never happened. And his pipeline would have never happened. A lot of things would have never happened. But this would never have happened. And all those dead people, both Russian and Ukrainian, they wouldn't be dead today.
He barely flinched on that. He's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm spitting right now, okay? Shut the fuck up, Caitlin Collins. I'm talking. I'm the president, okay? When money talking, you listen, okay? It's money calling. You pick up the fucking phone. When money talking, nobody cares about grammar. Shut the fuck up.
And all those cities that are blown up and disintegrated right to the ground, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, now, here's the problem. We've given so far $171 billion. They've given, meaning European Union, which is approximately the same size altogether as our economy. They've given about 20. So we're at 170, let's say, and they're at 20. You don't have to know too much about history to realize, or geography, to realize that they're a little bit more affected than we are, okay? So they've got to put up a lot more money because they're taking advantage.
This is how he did the NATO talk, too. And a lot of dumbasses were like, wow, Trump is like anti-imperialist. He's anti-NATO. He literally sidesteps away from the conversation by pointing out that, like, other countries, they're paying less. They should pay more for their own guns. But Republicans will eat this up. Okay? It also doesn't mean that we're going to put more... it doesn't mean we're going to give less money to the military-industrial complex. It just means he's going to negotiate so other countries pay more. Okay?
Of us like every other country did. That's why I ended NAFTA and replaced it with the USMCA, Mexico,
But on
Canada.
this issue, Mr. President, I should know, I don't know any Democrats who have said they don't believe Putin would have been invaded if you were president. But her question is, would you continue to give Ukraine money and weapons if you're elected? What's the answer?
I have a very good relationship with...
He's going to say, as long as they give me dirt on Hunter Biden. Just like I asked in that very perfect phone call.
President Zelensky, because as you know, he backed me up with the phony impeachment hoax number one, when he said the president didn't do anything wrong. So I happen to like. Yeah.
Dude, he's so funny. He's like, I like him. I like Zelensky. He's a funny guy.
He was an actor.
He was, yeah. Zelensky, he's gay, folks. I like him.
Very gay. Different strokes for different folks.
Funny guy.
Son.
What? Are you falling asleep? You want to leave?
Would you hate me?
No, not at all. I totally, I see you falling asleep.
I'm trying to, look, it has nothing to do with you.
No, I know. You are, I guess, very fortunate in the sense that
my body has gone through hell.
Well, it's wild that like you can sleep for 10 to 12 hours. That's what's wild to me about this whole.
It's rare, but when I'm overtired, I can. Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I'm just happy you're here.
Thank you.
We got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow.
Yes,
a lot of stuff, folks.
A lot of stuff.
Lots of stuff. Believe me, so
Fantastic.
many, too many stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
A lot
of
on.
stuff.
A lot happening.
We're gonna jobs, folks. A lot of jobs. I'm so tired. I'm running out of talking points.
Yeah.
In a Trump voice.
All right. All
right.
All right.
Peace out.
Get out of here.
Right.
Get ready for the podcast tomorrow.
That's right. What time in the morning?
I have to.
Can you fix that? Figure that. Just text me.
Hold on. Yeah, I have to talk to him right now.
Okay. See you guys later. All right. Peace.
Bye bye. Bye bye. All right, now that we're alone. We're finally alone, folks. Okay. Let me get to my situation here. Let me fix my shit up. Okay, bye-bye, folks. Okay, Zill Disney. Mickey Mouse rings. Trump would never tweet something like this. DeSantis is dead in the water. What is this? We are permanently ensuring that Florida will never become a biomedical security state by enacting expanded and permanent protections against medical authoritarianism. Ew. Dog, this didn't even break 3K. What the fuck? What are you, Hillary Clinton? What is this wordy ass, dumbass fucking tweet, bro? Get the fuck out of here, dog. This shit sucks. You got nothing, homie. You got nothing, okay? You got no juice. You got no motherfucking juice, bitch. You suck. You suck. Okay, no biomedical authoritarian megastate. Okay, shut the fuck up, bitch. What do you mean medical authoritarianism? Do you know how fucking stupid your audience is? Cater to your fucking audience's stupidity, dumbass. So dumb. He's so bad. It frustrates me. Makes me angry how bad he is. Nothing like my king, Donald
That's
Trump.
right, and I was totally exonerated, by the way. Just a waste of time and money.
You were impeached over that. You were impeached over that, but let's stay on topic here, Mr. President, because the question is, would you give Ukraine weapons
I was
and
impeached
funding?
by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question here is,
sympathized.
would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky. They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely
Do you
over.
want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country. Now,
can I just follow up on that? You
But
said
one
you
of the
don't
things
think
you
in
have
terms
to
of
do is
winning
you
and
have to
losing.
get you have
Mr.
to get
President, can I
Europe.
just follow up on that because that's a really important
Excuse me,
statement
let me
that you
just
just
follow
made
up.
there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying. And I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours. I'll have it done. You need the power of the presidency to do it.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win. You
know what I'll say? I'll say this. I want Europe to put up more money because they're in for 20 billion. We're in for 170, and they should be. And they should equalize. They have plenty of money. They should equalize. I got with NATO.
But I'm
when I
asking you
sat down,
about
I got
Ukraine
them
right
to
now,
put up
Mr.
hundreds
President.
of billions of dollars that they weren't paying under Obama and Bush and all of these other presidents. That's why they're able to help them fight the war because of the money I got. But I
let's
want
talk about
Europe.
what's happening in Ukraine,
excuse me.
Mr.
I want
President.
Europe to put up more money because they're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of jerks. We're spending $170 billion for faraway land, and they're right next door to that land, and they're in for 20. I don't think so.
When it comes to what's happening there, when you were in office, you said that you respected President Putin. Do
Yeah,
you
I do.
still respect him today?
He made a tremendous mistake. He's a smart guy, you know. I remember I said he was smart, she was smart. They
What
said
was his
he
mistake?
said President Xi of China, right, is smart. Okay, 1.5 billion people. He's the ruler of 1.5 billion people. I said, yeah, he's a smart guy. How dare he say he's smart? Of course he's smart. They want you to say he's a stupid person. Okay, he's not a stupid person. He's very smart. He's very cunning. And Putin made a bad mistake, in my opinion.
What was his mistake?
His mistake.
Bro, his answers for the Ukraine stuff, in the eyes of the overwhelming majority of the public, or not overwhelming, but like in the eyes of normies, is probably one of his strong suits. I know that this is the worst place to say this because this is a hyper online and hyper focused, very political community. And for them, it's like a non-issue. It's like, what? Of course, like, you're going to say, yeah, I want Ukraine to win. I want Ukraine to win. Okay? I'm sure everyone here feels that way to a certain degree. So, like, to you guys, it seems ridiculous that he won't say this because he's like, is he paid by Putin? Like, what the fuck? Okay? But to the normies, dude, this looks great. Like, he's literally, like, why the fuck should we care about this? Like, that's basically what he's saying. Because that's the average American's perspective on the matter. Is like, why do we give $170 billion to Ukraine when, our children are suffering? You are underestimating the anti-Russian propaganda that has been running for years, dude? Nah. You don't have to be pro-Russia. You just have to not give a shit. And if you think Americans give a shit, you're out of your fucking mind. Americans didn't even give a shit about Afghanistan, brother. Are you crazy? After like 4 or 5 years, even the Afghan war, they were like, fuck it. What are we doing here? What the fuck's going on? You really think that Americans who don't even give a shit about their own wars give a shit about Ukrainians fighting against Russians who are invading their country? Get the fuck out of here. No. Yeah, but there are white people now? Okay. Afghanistan was white people killing brown people, and they were literally like, no, it's too much money. But if you ask the normie if they wanted Osama bin Laden to win, it wouldn't be I don't care. Yes. But if you ask normies, why the fuck is America in Iraq? They would say, I don't know. Yeah, it's expensive. It's costly. People are dying. It's kind of stupid. If you think the average person is like, oh my God, I really think like, if you think they ask the average fucking person, should America keep sending $150 billion of weapons and money to Ukraine or not? Not with like we should use that on American citizens or anything like that. Like, not even the implication that you're going to use those funds on Americans. If you ask them straight up, yes or no, should we just give them this money or not? The overwhelming majority of Americans, with the exception of, liberal media followers, watchers, the people that love the people that read the New York Times regularly, people that watch MSNBC, people that watch CNN, the overwhelming majority of people are going to be like, what? No. No fucking shot. And it's not even because... It's not even necessarily because, like, they think that it's, like, an unjust war, or they think that it's, like, a just war, or anything like that. They have no dog in the fight. They just see numbers going elsewhere, and they get frustrated by it. The Pew numbers that you're saying, the numbers don't necessarily agree with what you're saying. For the record, you said... who say when it comes to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. is providing support to Ukraine, is different than what I'm saying. You put a fucking dollar value on that, which is what Republicans do all the time, and you ask, is it okay to give this much money to Ukraine? The overwhelming majority of Americans are going to say no. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Not like Biden's response to the invasion. None of that. Direct dollars. Okay? Because if you ask Americans, like, is it okay what Russia is doing to Ukraine? Do you think that it's all right? Of course they're going to say, no, it's not all right. Okay? Of course. Because what Russia is doing is not all right. And the average American still has the understanding that it's not all right. If you say, should America push back and stop this war in Ukraine? Of course, the overwhelming majority of Americans are going to say yes. Yes, we should. 73% of Democrats and 38% of the GOP think that we should give financial assistance to Ukraine. This doesn't mean what you think it means. Okay? Giving some financial aid to Ukraine or financial aid to Ukraine is entirely different than $150 billion. Okay? That's why I keep saying America is giving $150 billion in aid to Ukraine is a very strong talking point. Okay? $170 billion in aid to Ukraine is a very, very solid talking point that favors how many girls you got over to this night. Brother, your mom is literally outside of my door in my hotel waiting to come in. And unfortunately, I forgot to tell her that I'll be playing a baby game. So I won't be able to have sex with her tonight because I'm going to be playing the new Zelda game. She probably saw my tweet saying I'm going to play a baby game and thought, oh, the baby making game. Because that's what we call it when we're working on getting you a new sibling. Right? I'm boning your mom, and we call it the baby game. When I bone your mom. But unfortunately for her, it's not going to happen. Okay? Not tonight. Look at this. Food and medical assistance is at 84%. Financial support is at 73%, 38% for Republicans. The Republican drop-off is massive on this. Tanks, 48, 67. Long-range missiles, 41, 60%. Fighter jets, 39%, 56%. U.S. troops, 22%, 33%. That's insane. That 33% of Democrats think that we should send troops into Ukraine. And 22% of Republicans think that we should send troops into Ukraine. Goes to show you how fucking insane Americans are. Also, who the fuck would oppose food and medical assistance? That's insane, dude. 12% of Americans were like, nah, dog. That is actually the most wild statistic I've ever seen. That's unhinged, dude. Oh, that's awesome. Americans are so crazy, bro. What the fuck? The support also has been softening compared to a year ago. Support for Ukraine aid softens in U.S. public poll says. This is from February 15th. Views on Biden's handling of the war divide largely along partisan lines. 40% say they have a great deal of confidence in Biden to handle the situation. 50% have some confidence, and 9% have hardly any. Among Republicans, the large majority say they have hardly any confidence. Okay, again, none of this is talking about how much money is going to Ukraine. Half of American is libertarian and the other half is fascist imperialist. Yeah. What? For like 10 minutes, then pause for rant, then go back another 10 minutes, then rant once more, and then say that's enough for today and call it a night. Did I guess it right? What? What are you saying right now? I don't even understand. At this point, I was falling asleep last night. Since last March, the percentage of Democrats saying the U.S. should have a major role has dipped in Ukraine, has dipped slightly from 48% to 40%, while among Republicans, it's dropped from 35% to 17%. Democrats also remain more likely than Republicans to favor imposing economic sanctions on Russia. That part is fine, whatever. Accepting refugees from Ukraine, providing weapons to Ukraine, 63% to 39%, and sending government funds to Ukraine, 59% to 21%. None of that is still a numerical value. They're just saying like, oh yeah, no, guns is fine. You know, we're helping them out. And of course they're going to say that. The media has done a very good job of showing this as like not a massive way to offer financial packages to the military-industrial complex, but instead as a just war that America is fighting for pure reasons. But even then, Americans get sick of shit. Okay? And they are. They're getting sick of this. This is probably Donald Trump's strongest position, in my opinion.
Was going in. He would have never gone in if I was president. We used to talk about it there.
Do you believe that he is a war?
We used to talk about it. Fuck you mean? Wait, what? Wait, what does that mean? So Trump and Vladimir Putin had conversations about invading Ukraine? Wait, come on, man. That's a fun conversation. Just at least like be a little curious instead of reading a fucking script in front of you. What does that mean? I am getting tired of you. Oh, well. Are you in Windows 11? I just got here. I don't. It's not my computer. It's March's, so it might be Windows 11. I don't know. Maybe. Trump said that before. I know, but like, what did they talk about? I want to know.
Criminal?
What?
Do you believe that Putin is a war criminal? He's responsible for the deaths of thousands of Ukrainian men and
I think
women
it's
and
something
civilian
that
children.
should not be discussed now. It should be discussed later, because right now we have to get a war. If you say he's a war criminal, it's going to be a lot tougher to make a deal to get this thing stopped. Because if he's going to be a war criminal...
Damn. I'm not going to lie. I think, dude, that's... God damn. He's like actually not bad at this. No, he's not wrong. He's not fucking wrong. Like, this is... Okay, the real reason why he's saying this is because he doesn't think Vladimir Putin's a war criminal, right? That's the real reason why he's not saying it. But that is an expert way to deflect away. To make your, again, really fucking ridiculous talking point or ridiculous position come across like a good position. Oh, I'm just doing diplomacy. I'm just doing diplomacy. That's why I don't think we should say he's a war criminal. Come on. We're just doing it for diplomacy. Meanwhile, he doesn't think that Vladimir Putin is a war criminal. Let's be real. Of course he doesn't. Fuck, man. I mean, shit.
criminal where people are going to go and grab him and execute him. He's going to fight a lot harder than he's fighting, under the other circumstance. That's something to be discussed at a later date. Right now, we want to get that war settled. And I'm not talking about the money either. I'm talking about all the lives that are being, the number of people.
Trump is evolving into a politician. That's scary. You're out of your mind if you think that that is a politician answer. No, the politician answer in this situation is yes, Vladimir Putin absolutely is a war criminal, and we have to do everything we can to stop him. And he's a big bad guy, and we're gonna kill him. Actually, I'm gonna kill him personally, kill him dead with my hands. That's the politician answer. It's like ridiculous. It's silly. It's unproductive. Even if it's true, like the fact that Putin is a war criminal, which he is, saying that is you have no power. Anyway, you know what I mean? You're not going to change anything. It's silly. He's doing a really good job of, like, appealing to the broader audience and not coming across like he's dick-sucking Vladimir Putin. Even though he is dick-sucking Vladimir Putin. Like, he's not doing the talking points, so he's coming across as unique and closer to the average person than the politicians that they hear on television. And I think that that is what actually separates Donald Trump from the crowd. And it certainly separated him from the crowd in the previous election, not the one that he lost, but the one that he won.
People being killed in that war is far greater than you're hearing. When they blow up a city and those buildings come pouring down, and then they say 2 people were injured, no, hundreds and thousands of people are being killed, and we have to get that war settled.
We have more with former President Trump. Right after this, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with questions from voters.
It blows my mind. It blows my fucking mind that he is, again, looking like fuck. I hate this so much. Donald Trump is a violent, virulent racist. He is a violent white nativist. He is a imperialist just as every other fucking Democratic or Republican president has been. Okay? But he can come across, just like he did in 2016, like he is anti-fucking war again. As opposed to the Democrats who he portrays as pro-war. I hate this. It makes me so mad. It is so frustrating. Especially because Democrats look like they are like hungry. They're bloodthirsty. To be fair, here's what I think. I'll take it one step further. I think in 2020 he lost partially because he couldn't come across like he was a peaceful dove against Joe Brandon, who wasn't in power when he was. So he couldn't even hit the peaceful dove talking points in the same way that he can right now. So that actually is a giant. I think it's not a dub, but like it's helpful for him.
We have a lot more voters' questions, I should note, in here in New Hampshire to get to, but I also want to talk about some of the other investigations that you're facing. We talked about others at the top, but one of those is the special counsel's investigation into classified documents that were found at Mar-a-Lago. Why did you take those documents with you when you left the White House?
I had every right to under the Presidential Records Act. You have the Presidential Records Act. I was there, and I took what I took, and it gets declassified. Biden, on the other hand, he has 1,850 boxes. He had boxes sent to Chinatown, where they don't speak even English in that Chinatown we're talking about.
Can I got to stop you right there,
because nobody talks about him, they talk about us. Just so you understand, I had every right to do it. I didn't make a secret of it. You know, the boxes were stationed outside of the White House. People were taking pictures of the GSA of the various people.
I got to stop you right there, though, because the Presidential Records Act, which is not well known to a lot of people, I read it. It does not say that you can take documents with you. It says actually that they are the property of the federal government.
It says you talk, you negotiate, you make a deal. It's not criminal, by the way. The Presidential Records Act is not criminal. And just so you know,
it does not say you can negotiate to take the documents with you.
Can I tell you? Just so you understand, the Presidential Records Act is not criminal. I took the documents. I'm allowed to. You know who else took them? Obama took them. Nixon took them. Reagan took them. Oh, he didn't? He didn't?
The only difference is that anyone and everyone who took documents, including Mike Pence, immediately cooperated with the authorities when they asked to retrieve said documents, whereas you, in a very unique and very Trumpian way, decided not to do that. To what reason, I still don't know. Not that it fucking matters, but it's just like really stupid. Also, bringing up Nixon is pretty funny. But I guess he can say like Nixon successfully sued the American government for like, I think $30 million to retrieve his private tapes. Well, his estate did.
Here that I'd like to know.
Reagan
National
took
Archives
them.
says that President Obama
Even Jimmy
did not
Carter,
take
even Mike
documents.
Pence had some documents, and he's a
You
very
referenced
honorable
Pence,
guy.
you referenced
But you know who
Biden.
took them more than anybody is Joe Biden. He has 1,800 boxes,
That's
and
not
nobody
accurate,
even
Mr.
knows where
President,
they
and you
are.
know that.
1,800, and nobody talks about him.
Mr. President,
And they
that's not accurate.
put a rough guy on us, and they in the
I think
meantime
it's
they have
important, Mr.
nobody.
President, to actually set the record straight here. They took documents, including President or Vice President Pence. When they realized they had documents, they turned them back over. The difference is that you waited to turn yours over, and it was a year-and-a-half effort that included a subpoena with those documents. One question about what happened when you had those documents.
It included a raid on my house. That's what it included.
But
They didn't raid.
You'd gotten a
They didn't
subpoena,
raid
and they had not
Biden's
been
house.
turned over yet.
I mean, they literally did go to his house. The only difference is Biden consented to it, whereas you didn't, which is why, like, it's so stupid, dude. Biden consented to it, so they went to his house peacefully. You had the opportunity to have the authorities come to your house peacefully. You flubbed it. You refused to take that. Like, what do you mean? You're the reason why there was a fucking raid. The FBI at every step of the way was like, please, sir, can we just come in secretly? Can we just get the documents? It's weird that you don't really want to give us the documents. I don't understand why. But, like, can we just please take them, please?
They didn't raid
like,
Biden's
no!
house. You know what happened? They put him in the house. That's the one with the Corvette where the documents were laying all over the floor. That was fine. And you know who happens to be at Mar-a-Lago? Secret Service, and they're phenomenal. I have Secret Service. He didn't have Secret Service. The other thing, the vice president cannot declassify. He didn't have the right to declassify. He has documents from when he was a senator. And even Democrat senators say, I can't believe it. No, I went by the Presidential Records Act, and we were negotiating with NARA.
That's not what it says,
And
Mr.
NARA has
President.
red flagged a thing called the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights because they consider them
Mr. President,
dangerous
that's
documents.
not what it
Those
says,
are the people we're dealing
and
with.
I should note that there is a special counsel investigating your document situation, also President Biden's document situation. When it comes to your documents, did you ever show those classified documents to anyone?
Not really. I would have the right to. By the way, they were
do you mean, not
declassified
really?
after. Not that I can think of. Let me just tell you, I have the absolute right to do whatever I want with them. I have the right. I was negotiating with NARA. Do you know what NARA is?
The National Archives.
Extremely
But you don't
left
negotiate
group
with
of
them.
people. Extremely left. And I was negotiating with
They're
them.
not
All of a
left,
sudden,
they're
they
bipartisan.
raided my house. They didn't raid the house of Joe Biden. They didn't raid Obama.
Joe Biden didn't ignore a subpoena to get those documents back like
Joe
you
Biden
did. And so
took
that's the question.
1,850 boxes.
But that's the question that investigators have, I think, is why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready?
People are complaining about the echo, so I'm trying to lower the fucking computer desktop audio without lowering it on OBS so you guys can hear loudly what the fucking what Trump is saying without hearing an echo.
Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
You
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Own.
Can you answer why you
Very
why you
simple.
held on to the documents?
I was negotiating, and we were talking to NARA, that's Washington, to bring whatever they want. They can have whatever they want. When we left Washington, we had the boxes lined up on the sidewalk outside for everybody. People are taking pictures of them. Everybody knew we were taking those boxes. And the GSA, the government service, the GSA was the one taking them. They brought them down to Mar-a-Lago. We were negotiating with NARA. All of a sudden, they raid our house. When Biden had his documents, he won't give back the 1,850 boxes. And you're going to find some real gems in there.
But it was
So
Biden
you
who
can't have
alerted
all
them that
these
he had
different
the
sets of-
documents.
all
The
these
National
different
Archives
sets of-
reached out to you to get your documents back. Why did you not turn them over when you got a subpoena
Because we were
asking for you to turn
negotiating
them
with
over?
them. We were negotiating with them.
What?
As per the presidential.
Like, what does he mean we were negotiating?
Records Act. We were negotiating with NARA.
That's not what the
Very nice
Presidential Records
people,
Act says. I've
but they
seen
got to
it.
love our Constitution a little bit more, and they shouldn't red flag it, by the way. Very nice people. We were negotiating with NARA, and that's what the Presidential Records Act says, because Richard Nixon, surprisingly, had problems, and he had a lot of problems dealing with NARA, and they ended up passing
that's why
legislation
they
called the
created the
Presidential
PRA.
Records Act, just for this kind of a thing. We were
My
dealing
last
with them.
question
We were
on this
talking.
sub- on
Excuse me.
this
Wait a minute.
subject,
Wait.
Mr. President.
Literally no echo at all for this AirPods Andy. No, there's a little bit of an echo. I can see it. It's supposed to be like lower than the actual audio of the desktop audio though, so it's not like really in your face, not as bad. But you can totally see it. NARA. It's not distracting, adapt and overcome. Thank you. It's fine, ignore them. They're actually being fucking babies right now. No, it's all good.
We were talking to
Bending
them.
the knee to the audio pedophiles. Yeah, sometimes. NARA. The echo makes it sound funnier. Okay, well, still. You're in a hotel. Don't give in to backseat streamer Andy's. You're being a little whiny baby? Wait, what? I'm not whining about anything. What the fuck? What am I whining about? Stop capitulating to the radical audio sensory mafia. The only mafia I capitulate to is the top of the hour mafia, okay? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you want to be a part of the protection racket, well, then all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. That's right. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here is the 3-minute ad break now, folks. Oh.
We would have done it, but all of a sudden they raided the house. Now, why hasn't the FBI raided Biden?
But I just explained to you why.
No.
It's because they alerted.
This is so funny. Like she actually did give him an answer on that. And he's like not interested in hearing it. You know what I mean? He's like, why haven't they done it? It's like, well, what are you supposed to do? They did. They went to his house. But like he gave them consent. You didn't.
The government that they had those documents and had them come and get the documents from his house.
No, they
My
didn't
question
take
for you, though, when it comes to documents, do you still have any classified documents in your possession?
Are you ready?
Do you?
No, I don't have anything. I have no classified documents.
Are you
and
ready?
By the way, they become automatically
Why did he say it like
declassified
that?
when I took them. But
No, you
why?
have to declassify
Let me ask
them.
you a question. Why is it that Biden had 9 boxes in Chinatown? And he gets a lot of money from China. Why is that? And
There
why
is no
are
evidence,
China?
Mr. President. No, you cannot
why
say
aren't
that. There
people
is no
bringing that
evidence
up?
of that, Mr.
And why
President.
don't they put this
What
guy
you're
Jack
referring
Smith
to
and his
is an
group
office that he
of
had.
thugs?
Mr.
Why don't
President,
they put him in charge of that?
I need to stop you right there because there's no evidence of what you just said there. What you're referring to there is an office that he had after
That's
leaving
at the University of
vice
Pennsylvania.
presidency.
Well,
He had a temporary office. But I want to ask you about another investigation
You're so
that you're
wrong.
facing.
You don't know the subject.
I do know the subject.
He had
and I
one
do
at
know the
University
facts,
of
Mr.
Pennsylvania,
President.
but he also had
I want to
9
move on to
boxes
another
in
investigation that
Chinatown.
you're facing, which is the one.
So what does this take? Like, does he think that like the Chinese Communist Party is operating out of Chinatown or something, and like that's why Joe Biden put the boxes there? Like, what the fuck? Like, do people think Chinatown is China? Like, what's happening? That part I kind of missed. I am. That's awesome. If the Republican base of voters have decided that Chinatown is actually in China and not in America, and is just a bunch of like American people living there. Extremely important Fox clip.
Goat. You know they're prey because their eyes are on the side of their head. That's how you know that,
Yep.
But they eat cans. I don't mind them eating the bushes. They eat cans.
Wait. What about the eyes on the side of their head?
That means
That
that
means
they're
you're-
prey and not predators, so they can look out.
you're a predator.
You're a predator, like a pedophile. Not that you're a pedophile, but like
That is
predators.
defamation.
A predator has eyes in front of him.
No, I got it.
Prey has eyes on
That's
the
why
side.
vegans make no sense.
Right, exactly. I wanted to buy a goat. You know.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for interrupting the broadcast for that very important piece of information.
One that's
She doesn't
happening
understand
in
it.
Georgia, where they are investigating your efforts to overturn the election results in the state of Georgia.
did nothing wrong. It was a perfect phone call.
Let me finish my question. At the center of that is that
Someone laughed. Someone audibly cackled at him saying it was a perfect phone call. At that point, it's like people, I think, recognize that he's just a fucking asshole. And like maybe they realize that he's not even in the right there, but they don't even care. You know what I mean? At that point, it's content. Which I agree, it is content. And it seems like the liberals over at CNN seem to agree as well.
call that you had with the Secretary of
Perfect
State,
call.
Brad Raffensperger.
Yeah, sure.
Given the fact that there are indictments expected to come in that case this summer, is that a call you would make again today?
Yeah, I called questioning the election. I thought it was a rigged election. I thought it had a lot of problems. I guess he's Secretary of State. I called, listen to this, There are like 7 lawyers on the call, many of them from there. We're having a call, we're having a normal call. Nobody said, oh, gee, he shouldn't have said that. Why? If this call was bad, I question the election.
You
if
asked
this
him to
call
find
was
you
bad,
votes.
I didn't ask him to find anything. Let me
We've
just tell
heard
you.
Dude, what the fuck? We heard him say it. That's so funny. I wasn't saying that. I was just simply asking, we need 11,187 votes. As in like, oh man, if only we had those votes, then we would win the election. When I said, I'm trying to find 11,147 votes, I simply was saying like, you know, like I'm trying to find them. Like, where are they? What's going on? What's happening?
the audio
If
tape,
this
Mr.
call
President.
was
There's an
bad,
audio of you asking him to
I
find you
said
11,000
you owe
something
me
votes.
votes because the election was rigged. That election was rigged. And if this call was bad, why didn't him and his lawyers hang up? How dare you say that? This was a perfect
Well, they were
phone
clearly
call.
concerned enough. They recorded the call, and I should note that, of
This
course,
was a call that was made.
Why didn't they hang up on me? The United States of America's president. They didn't hang up because it was a perfect phone call. No one's ever done it like me. They didn't hang up because they were thinking, damn, this is such a fire phone call. You know when you're fucking on the phone on a Friday afternoon when you're in like high school with the girl that you're crushing on and you don't want to hang up and you do the, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. You know what I mean? You play hang up phone tag. That's what was happening in Georgia at the time. They were fucking booed up, dude. Okay? They were like, no, you hang up, sir, Mr. President. Like, no, you find me 11,472 votes.
Made to question the results of election. And we have. And when we can't make a call to question election results, then this country ought to just forget about it.
you weren't just questioning the election results.
I was
You were
questioning
asking
the
him to
election.
find you votes. And I should note that there is no evidence of fraud. There is no rigged election in the state of Georgia. I want to get back to the audience, though, Mr. President, because those are false claims you're making about what happened in Georgia. Jordan Tullenberger is here. He's an undeclared voter from Hollis. He voted for you in 2020. Jordan, what is your question for President Trump tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Thank you very much.
I'm 26. I'm a veteran. I help manage a private aviation company.
You want a job?
I'd love one, yeah.
I'm looking for somebody very good.
I'm not for mandates or government interference in private business, but I've
Right.
seen Republicans going after us like DeSantis after Disney.
Right.
What would you do as president to protect us from government interference?
Well, I'm the one that.
Wow. Wow, that's a mole, baby. That's a mole, baby. I know a mole when I see him, dude. God damn, he just went like, he just threw a fucking underhanded softball, dude. He's like, here, sir, this one's for you. Knock it out of the fucking park. God damn, dude. He's so excited. Look at his face.
Really, right.
Private business, but I've
Right.
seen Republicans going after us like DeSantis after Disney.
Right.
What would you do as president to protect us from government interference?
Well, I'm the one that really wants to protect you. All of these fake investigations of me are about election interference. They think because I'm leading Biden by 11 points, 7 points, 9 points, I'm leading DeSanctimonious by a lot, by 40 points or 45 points. I think he ought to just relax and take it easy and think about the future, because right now his future is not looking so good. I will tell you.
Dude, no, don't say the sanctimonious. Hit him with a little Rhonda. Dude, one day Donald Trump's going to say little Rhonda, and that's how you guys are going to know he hired me. Okay? That's when you'll know. When he says little Rhonda, that means his team is listening. Okay? Little Rhonda. It's so good. It rolls off the tongue. Or Meatball Ron. Oh, God.
This, we are really putting it to Biden, but he's putting it to himself because the economy stinks, inflation is horrible, and the border is a disaster. And by the way he got out of Afghanistan was the single most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Mr. President, I have one more question for you here tonight, and I think While we're in front of the voters here in New Hampshire, this is a fundamental question for you. You are running in the 2024 race. If you are the Republican nominee and you are in that 2024 race, will you commit tonight to accepting the results of the 2024 election?
Yeah, if I think it's an honest election, absolutely, I would.
Will you commit to accepting the results of the election?
Yeah, I mean, he just like, he knows how to deflect away from that.
Regardless of the outcome.
You want me to answer it again? If I think it's an honest election, I would be honored to. And right now, we are so far ahead of both Democrat and Republican.
By the way, honest equals I win. That's what honest equals I win. So if I win, yes, it's honest. So I will, of course, be honored to. If I lose, bye-bye. Obviously, it's fake. That's so stupid. If I lose, it's rigged. If I win, then I'll be honored.
Republican. And you know what? If I don't win, this country is going to be in big trouble. It's so sad to see what's happening.
But no commitment there on the accepting the results regardless of the outcome.
If it's an honest election, correct, I will.
Okay, so not committing to accepting the 2024 election results or acknowledging what happened in 2020. President Trump, I want to thank you for coming here tonight. This is an important conversation with voters to hear and to have. Thank you to our audience and to our host, St. Anselm College. CNN's coverage continues with Anderson Cooper and Jake Tapper.
Wow, what a fucking disaster, dude. What a fucking disaster. Now, there was also voters in the town hall that weighed in on Trump's performance, and they gave him high marks. But before we move on to that, libs on Twitter were not happy. They were not happy with this town hall, which is understandable. Obviously, like, if you truly care about, like, Donald Trump not becoming president again, like, of course, like, this is really fucked up.